Hello loves, we're back and today we are here with my January wrap up. Now I know this is coming to you guys on Sunday, which is the 9th, and I know that's pretty late. I know I usually do them early, but I started off this month with a compilation and then I missed a few days of my upload schedule because it was just a really busy month for me, really busy week, first week of February, so I didn't get to do that, but I'm here with it now. Apologies for this late upload. So we're gonna just go ahead and get into it. We have our, well, there's actually 5 books, but I read 4 on physical copy, what I guess you guys can already see, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So like I said, I read a total of 5 books this month, and I'm going to show you guys my reading. I actually need my notebooks. I'll be right back. So the first book, I'm going in the order that I read these. The first book that I read this month was Carvel by Stephanie Garber. I rated this book 4 stars. Yeah, 4 stars. And definitely deserved. This book was really enjoyable. Definitely not 5-star worthy, but it was amazing. I do plan on continuing the series sooner or later. But I just really enjoyed this book overall. This is my first ever time stepping into any of Stephanie Garber's writing. I've never read anything else by her, so I think this was like a great introduction towards her writing, especially since she has a lot of puppy books and she just announced her debut adult novel. So I feel like once I come finish Caraval, I want to step into her adult novel, and then I'm going to do the spin-off series. I heard about this one, which was like Once Upon a Broken Heart or something. Well, like, depending on how fast I can finish the series, I might do Once Upon a Broken Heart first before that debut novel comes out. Just depends on how fast I read and how fast I can get my hands on copies of books and what TBRs these end up on. But I definitely really enjoyed this one. I will say right here though, like, Tessa got on my nerves. That was her name, right? Tessa. That was Tella. No, I said Tessa. It's Tella. I did not like Tella. Donatella just got on my nerves. I feel like whether she knew this was gonna happen or not, she put her sister through so much. Her sister thought she was going insane. Her sister almost died. Like, Scarlett almost died. Scarlett had to endure lots of pain just because Donatella would not listen. And although they did get the semi-happy ending, she has risked so much, and for both their lives, I feel like it's just, honestly, she was just the character that we were made to hate, because I feel like she just put everybody's lives in danger and she literally did not give a freak about what anybody else thought. Which, in a good way, that's good in one way, but at the same time it's really bad because it means you're not, you know, aware of other people's feelings and emotions and thoughts, and you don't even know what kind of trauma you just inflicted onto Scarlett that we will see in the second book. And not to mention, the second book is that, like, all the rest of the books in the series follow Donatella. I'm so mad about that, honestly. Literally, that has me so upset. Next up is Offside Rule by Maeve Hazel. This was an art copy that I received and I just did not enjoy it. I rated it a 3.75 star because that was the only way I was allowed to release my review, but my true rating of it is actually a 2 star. Maybe 1.5 stars, to be honest. This book, it was a novella, and there was so much potential for it, I will admit, but I feel like the way she went about it, this specific trope that she chose was definitely not fitting to go into a novella. It could have been a full-length novel and it might have turned out way better, but I feel like to cram it all into a small, tiny book like this is not the best option because we didn't get the full experience out of it, and I feel like it was really rushed. I know it's a novella, so we're not supposed to get every single nitty-gritty detail, but I would have loved more like details, dialogue, and maybe even more backstory on these characters, because we didn't get much of that. We just got, okay, this is the present. I want also the past, you know? I know I said it a lot when we do reading log. I'm like, I don't care about the backstory because most of the times the backstory literally is irrelevant. A lot of times people do flashbacks, it's like literally like, oh hey, and it literally doesn't come into play ever. But I feel like for this one, we definitely could have used like a backstory because I was just like, okay. It definitely gave me like the boring features. I was just not enjoying myself that much. And that was like really off for me because I usually enjoy Maeve Hazel's writing. So I went through what I was feeling. I was like, oh, this should have been a full-length novel. This should not have been a novella because this was not fit to be a novella. It was fit to be a novel because it was just not novella material, not novella worthy. It was fit to be a novel. And that is that, because I just genuinely did not enjoy this. And I had to rate this book 4 stars because, on Goodreads at least, because it's, Goodreads does not let you do any kind of star pointings, and she literally was like, yeah, you cannot do anything less than a 3.5, until release day. You can change then. So I don't even know if the book's released. I just haven't been keeping up with it because it just did not pique my interest. It could have been like way better. It could have been way better, and I'm just feeling like we were robbed from Maeve's normal, amazing, detailed, descriptive writing that we oh so know and love. And we just didn't get it in this book because we were robbed, to say the least. We were most definitely robbed. The third book that I read was Nightbane by Alex Astor. I actually have a reading vlog up on this book on my channel. I rate this one 3 stars. It was definitely going to be a 2 stars, but the ending is what got me, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna rate this one a 3 stars because it's definitely, I feel like it still should be 2 stars though, because 3 stars is like, it's a good book. The book was not good. The ending was good. It was chaotic in a bad way. It was fast-paced in a really bad way. It was also really confusing. We had the book, to me, consisted more of flashbacks than it did an actual plot itself. And I know it's the relationship between her and Grimm, but I feel like that could have been its own novella, her past, because I feel like there was some points, because you know sometimes you don't read the chapter heading, like especially for this one, because each chapter has a name. So I just stopped caring about the names, and I was just like, okay, so there would be some times where I delve into it. I'm just like, what is going on? Like, what are we talking about? And I look back and it's like, oh, before. And I feel like that could have been much more clear. I feel like for this kind of book, you cannot put titles at the top unless you really want me to pay attention to it. And I don't pay attention to the titles of the chapters because the titles of chapters are relevant to me. I pay for the story, not for the title of the chapter. So when it said before, it kind of really confused me a lot, and I feel like there could have been a better way to go about this, like to put flashback or to make the font bigger, so that way it's much more, you know, make it in a bold lettering, so we know that this is a flashback and not just a title of the chapter. So I paid more attention to it. And also it just felt after, you know, they started getting along, that's when the flashbacks stopped, because I feel like that was just them chilling and everything. But then we got the flashbacks of before they got along, before Isla and Grimm got along, and I was just like, okay, that's intriguing somewhat. But after that, I was just like, these are just irrelevant. They're not important. They don't do anything towards the story or the plot. This could have been cut down into a really small book. This could have been novella, or the flashbacks could have been novella. But if the books, I think her problem was if she knew that if the flashbacks were its own novella, the flashbacks would be its own novel, and then this is what we would get out of the book. It would be a really short book for us to read. And I feel like she tried to put in more flashbacks in there so that way the book was longer. And I just did not enjoy it because I feel like I definitely think the flashbacks ruined it for me because it took up most of the story. And then the story was also really chaotic. The plot was just not plotting. There was lots of plot holes, to say the least. And it's definitely getting much more crazy for a teen YA novel. Okay. The fourth book that I read was Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. This is book 2. I rated this one 2 stars. This book, I'm not the only one that hates this book. Okay, I've talked to other people. They hate this book as well. This book was too fast-paced in a really bad way. It needed to slow down. It needed to hit breaks. There were 3 different conflicts that we need to solve in this book. 3 different conflicts that could have been in 3 different books. That we could have focused on each main conflict more, but instead it was, we finished this conflict, gotta go to the next one, because we were literally rushing through the book. This book felt rushed. It felt like there was too much going on. I just didn't enjoy it overall. This one has second book syndrome, and I just hope that the third book and the rest in the series are better than this, because I did like the first book. I already bought the 3rd book, so I need to read that for you guys, but on the reading vlog I clearly expressed how I felt about this one. I just didn't enjoy it. It dragged on, but it was also didn't drag on. It was like fast-paced, but there was a lot going on. We were defeating too many enemies at once. Like, for example, in The Lightning Thief, we had multiple villains. We had multiple, like, side quests. But those were not main side quests. Like, we didn't know from the beginning. We didn't know from the jump that we'd be seeing these people and these people. But in this one, we knew from the very jump we'd be seeing these people, these people, these people. And these were main conflicts, while those were just side plots that we saw. Like, most fantasy books have side plots. They have side quests. That's what makes them more interesting. This one had 3 plots. They were not side plots. These were main plots. And I feel like that really ruined the book. Side plots. If maybe one of these will move to the side and they were side plots, maybe. But when you start the book, it gives you an impression that we are trying to do something with the camp. I'm not going to say exactly what the camp, because even though, if you haven't even read the 2nd book, if I say what happens, it's going to spoil it, even though it was the beginning of the 2nd book. We're doing something with the camp, but the second that we go on our quest, our main focus is not the camp anymore. It's literally so confusing because you don't know what you're supposed to be focusing on and when you're supposed to be focusing on it. It's not well paced, it wasn't well planned out, and it wasn't well, you know, executed. And the last book, which was book 5 that I read in the month of January, was #murder_funding. Now, I have a new tradition. Well, I guess it won't be so new after I read the last book, but whenever I go on vacation, I read one of Gretchen McNeil's books. And because it started when I went to Texas, in a Texas vlog, I read #murder_funding, and I loved it because I was on vacation. It was just like a nice getaway read for me. But this one, it was the same case. I liked it. This one I rated 3 stars. Second book syndrome, sure. There were some points of the book where I was like, we've lost the plot. And this is a thriller book. There was no thrill until the last few chapters. That's when everything started, and like, why is my bookmark still in here? Well, in my defense, I did finish this book when I was on vacation, and I couldn't put my bookmark anywhere. But this one, about, I want to say this much is nothing. It's page fillers, and this is where all the action actually happens. Of course, I read it all because I did kind of enjoy the page fillers. I read everything. I read all the page fillers, but I feel like if we're gonna do a thriller book, please at least add it. Okay, I'll give her the credit. At the beginning of the book, there was like one thrilling moment, but we forgot about that like almost immediately after that happened. And then the rest of this was just like page fillers, school, page fillers, social media, page fillers, news outbreaks, news channels, discussion groups, and then we get here, and this is where all the action happens. This is where all the action happens. This versus this. It could have, once again, been planned out better. I feel like I would have liked it better if there was more action induced into it, or like even like the, oh, I feel like somebody's watching me type thing, like that kind of stuff where it's like there's nothing actually happening, but just the character feeling eerie or uneasy would have definitely made me like, oh my goodness, something's happening. But instead, when stuff actually started happening, I was like, oh wait, stuff's actually happening on the last few pages. And then it all ended so quickly. In like 3 chapters, they wrapped it up, and I was like, oh, so where was the thrill? Because even these chapters, there was like literally no thrill. Because with Murder Trending, the entire book's a thrill. And maybe that's just because the entire thing's being filmed and it's supposed to be brutal. And this one is a teenage girl going on a reality TV show that's brutal. But it was rushed. It most definitely was. And then the parts where it was actually, you know, had me intrigued, that was extremely rushed, and it was closed out way too quickly. I feel like there could have been way more. I just feel like this one also has second book syndrome. I don't know what it is with second book syndrome, but as a girl that writes trilogies, and you guys are about to see my trilogy come out, I hope that my second book in my trilogy does not have second book syndrome. I will literally be like, okay, if this has second book syndrome, it's being rewritten and the date is getting pushed back, because I don't want my book to have second book syndrome. And maybe these authors just didn't even realize it, but I just feel like there could have been more. We could have had, in all these page fillers where we're talking about, oh, school, life, social media, you know, auditions, costume designs, oh, we're shopping. There could have been like, oh, I feel like somebody's watching me. I just get this eerie feeling crawling up my skin. I get goosebumps. We didn't get that. We just got, I don't like that dress. I like this dress. In fact, actually, yeah. And this one's cuter, and you know, I don't believe you. And all of a sudden, like, oh, I don't believe you, and oh, can you believe this is happening, and look on social media, I saw you on video, and you were live streaming, and yeah, I did this audition and it didn't turn out well. I just feel like we could have gotten like, oh, at the audition, I felt like there was somebody watching me, and I knew this was gonna happen, and I felt like if I made a wrong move, I'd be dead or something like that. No, we didn't get any of that. It was literally just straight up nice. Guess that's what's happening now. So yeah, definitely feel like this book could have been executed better. But that is all that I read in the month of January. Just pretend there's like another novella book right here. So these are all the books that I read in January. Turn around for you guys so you guys can actually see the spines. This makes it so difficult with Percy Jackson because, yeah. And this is the order I read it too. Yeah, guys. I'm not crazy. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for watching. I feel like my nose I sound like my nose is stuffy. It's not, y'all, I promise. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, kisses. My dad, and goodbye. Are you guys sick of seeing me yet? Because I'm not sick of being here. I'm sticking to my schedule. I'm trying to stick to the schedule, y'all. Y'all not gonna get sick of me. But today, last time we talked, I showed you guys my March TBR on the 1st of March. See, I'm on time for stuff. And now we're doing my February TBR before I make any more videos. And we're wrapping up our podcast this month, so I need to start filming those. Which is like really sad. Oh my goodness, you guys are not gonna get me again until like the spring, which is like April, so you guys will see me again next month, but still, oh my goodness. So I read a total of 4 books in the month of February. 1 was an ARC book and the other 3 were physical copies. And I'm gonna share with you guys the order that I read these books. Because I have them in my journal. I just labeled them 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, in the order that I read them. So let's go and get into it. So first book that I read in the month of February was Fourth Wing, and I rated this book 5 stars. So this book is about this girl named Violet, and she's been training to be a scribe, which I believe is like a librarian. She's been training to be a scribe her entire life because she just doesn't have the body. She has a disorder. I forgot what it's called, but it's something that makes like her bones extremely fragile, and so therefore she cannot be one of like the, I think it's called elites, or is that powerless? The elites is powerless. Oh, it's literally called dragon riders. So she cannot be a dragon rider, but her mother on the day, she's like, no, you're gonna be a dragon rider because even though your father was a scribe, your father died and he was a scribe. Okay, so you're gonna be a dragon rider because you're gonna live up the legacy. And so she gets here, and there's this one guy, Zayden Ryerson, that's her enemy, guys. That's her literal deadly enemy because there's some past between her mom and his dad that happened, or like their families collided in a really bad way, and so there's a lot of, you know, tension between the two. And then there's Dane. Don't get me started on Dane, please. But then there's Dane, and he's supposed to be protecting her, helping her, etc., etc. And so, therefore, she's trying to navigate her way through this place that you cannot trust anybody. She has to be quick on her toes. She has to practice this, that, and the third. And I just love my time with this. So I rated this book 5 stars. Not one of my favorite books of all time. Obviously, I have others about this one, but it was definitely worthy of that 5 star because I could not put this book down. And when I did, it was because I was turning on the audiobook or the dramatized version, which I think the dramatized version made this like a better experience for me, but still, therefore, I enjoyed the story itself. Next book that I read in the month of February was Deep End by Allie Hazelwood. This came out last month, actually, so I read this a few days after it came out because Barnes & Noble never ships anything on time, but they can put these out beforehand. Okay, got it. So this book is about Scarlett Vandermeer, hope I'm pronouncing that right, and basically she is a diver, and she had an injury, and so now she's trying to get back into her way of diving the way she used to, because now like what's going on with the lighting here? Hello? The lighting just changed drastically. I don't like it, but we're gonna have to work with it, y'all. So she's trying to get back into diving, and so then her best friend Penelope her best friend Penelope has a boyfriend. Oh yeah, the lighting's back. Oh, does it just like not like me or something? Because it's like good when I'm not in the camera. But it's the book. The book is changing the lighting. What the freak? Okay, so her best friend Penelope is basically like has a boyfriend, Lucas. They break up and everything. So now Penelope and Scarlett are best friends. I think you're kind of gonna see where this is going. Yeah, so I read this book. When I rated it 4 stars, it was good. I thought it was gonna be like Not in Love. I hate Not in Love because a lot of people say it's mainly focused on like the really spicy scenes, and it was, but it was an actual plot, and I enjoyed it. I just feel like it could have been cut down like this much. There was like a lot of extra stuff in there that we did not need, like extra dialogue, over explanations and everything like that. So I definitely feel like this could have been cut down, and like there was some parts where I cringed a lot, so I rate this one 4 stars. Oh, the next book that I read was Practice Make Perfect by Sarah Adams. I rate this one 3 stars. This one I cringed a lot. Okay, so this is a small town romance book. I love small town romance. But this one was really cringy, okay? So our female main character, Annie, acts like a literal child throughout majority of the book. Like, she will literally go like, owie, or something like that. And it's like, y'all can hear how cringy that is, okay? I was like, oh, okay. There was no third act breakup, but they were kind of like on and off, and it was kind of really confusing. I was just like, okay, like, what is going on? Annie was acting like a child. A lot of the characters got on my nerves, except for like the side characters, you know, like a lot of the main characters got on my nerves. You know, like they're becoming annoying. It was kind of repetitive, and I just like was not enjoying myself truly to the fullest that I wish I did with this book. But you know, beggars cannot be choosers, so yeah. And the last book that I read this month was Broken Deal by Yin Kuros, and I read this one sadly 2 stars. I read Broken Pieces for her, and that one was a 4-star read, and I thought, okay, maybe if I do Broken Deal, it's going to be another 4, maybe even 5-star read, at best 3 stars. This book was 2 stars. Okay, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. This is like my personal opinion. Like, a lot of people enjoyed this book, and maybe it was just me, but it just felt really repetitive. Like, you guys know those like books where it's like, I'm this person and I have to pretend to be perfect and everything, and I feel sorrows. And it was like, at first, the first 2 times we mentioned it, it was okay. I was not minding it. But then I noticed that every single chapter that she was narrating, because it's dual POV, so whenever it was in her POV, she mentioned that multiple times, and I was just like, girl, shut up, we get it. Okay, we get it, girl. We get that you're supposed to be perfect and you're supposed to have a smiling face and all that other stuff, right? And then, don't even start on this, man. I don't even remember their names. I was here for Arya and Damien at this point, but, like, I don't remember their names, because that's, like, how out of touch I was, you know, and, whatever. So, basically, she's had this really bad past, and people have told this man this. She's had this really bad past with men, right? And she has all this trauma and extra stuff like that. And so he's like, oh yeah, I want to date. And she's like, no. She states multiple times she's uncomfortable. She says the word no. He cannot take no for an answer, so he goes after her. And I know that's like, oh, she's like, I know it's like the typical thing with it, but usually we let her come to him if she's already said no, because she stated that she's uncomfortable multiple times, and he is trying to push her into something she's not ready for, after being told once, twice, 3 times, like, oh yeah, she's had a horrible past with people, and you know, she's not really trusting, and she's said multiple times, like, I don't feel comfortable around you, and all this stuff. He showed up to her freaking workplace, guys, her place of work, and disrupts her work. So I think that just says all that you guys need to know about why I rate this book 4 stars. Like, wait, what? Why I rate this book 2 stars? I just did not enjoy it, and it was getting on my nerves. I only stayed for Arya and Damien. It was the only 2 characters I liked. Hopefully, I know there's supposed to be more books in the series. Hopefully this one just has second book syndrome, and the rest of the books in the series are good. But yeah, so that is all for today's video. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm so happy that you guys decided to watch, and I'm an author, by the way, so make sure you guys follow me on Instagram so you guys can stay updated, because I don't update YouTube first. YouTube gets stuff a few days after it gets announced on Instagram. So if you want to be exactly up to date, go follow me on Instagram, please. Join the book club. This month we're reading 2 books. One is a novella, which is why we're reading 2. We usually read one. One's a novella and one's a full-length novel. So we have Powerful by Lauren Roberts, and then on the 12th we'll be reading Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. So make sure you guys join the book club below. Make sure you guys join the Discord server so you guys can interact with me, talk with me. I'm usually active there, and if I'm not, it's because I'm literally just like, oh my, not on my phone. I don't go on Discord that often, but when I do, I interact with you guys. So that's gonna be all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Kisses, video out, and goodbye. Hey, so like your girl just broke her tripod, so if the footage is wonky, it's not my fault. We're here, guys, after so long, so long. Yeah, we're back with my wrap up. And we had a good month. I didn't plan to read as many books as I did. The original goal every month is to read 5 or more, because I have a book coming out this summer, which follow the Instagram. I have a book coming out this summer, and so I've been trying to focus more on that than actually reading. I've been focused more on writing than reading. And so yeah, I actually got to do a good amount of books this month. I did more than what I than I expected. I did 7 books in the month of March, which I'm like super proud of myself for. So we have our list in my book journal here. It got a little chaotic through the middle of the month because my markers were just like not working at all, but we're gonna just go ahead and start. So the first book that I read in the month of March, let me pull it out real quick. Oh no, why did I do this? Why do I have it set up like this? Okay, was the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I rated this one 3 stars. It was okay, but I feel like near the end it got boring, and it also got really repetitive. I was just like, okay, so we're dragging it out now. Like, we're genuinely dragging it out. I see like where the hype for this book comes from, but I also don't see it. Like, there was some parts where I was just like, okay, we can calm down. Like, this is not as big of a deal as we're all making it. And you know, there'd be some points where some of the characters would be extremely hypocritical, and I hate when that happens. There's a difference between when a character is intentionally hypocritical and like the characters call those characters out for it. But I could tell like it was unintentional, but they were hypocritical and they were not called out for it. Like, there was some characters that were like, don't do this, and they would go do the thing that they said they were not going to go do. And like, come on now, this is the most hypocrisy thing I've ever seen in my life. And it wasn't like, I feel like it was intended, but at the same time it was not, and nobody called out these characters for it, and it always just gets on my nerves to like the uttermost extent. And so this book was an overall 3 stars for me. This is also my first time ever reading a historical fiction, because I don't like any like historical fiction, so this is my first ever time reading like one that I actually committed to, because usually if you catch me reading historical fiction, it's not because I want to. So this is the first time I actually like chose historical fiction to read, and this was the book, and it's what I started my month out with. Now this month I feel like I broke out of my reading slump because I got a lot of books down. So the second book I read was Wings of Fire by T.T. Sutherland. I did not like this book at all. I rated it 1 star. It took me 7 months to complete this book, and when a book ever takes me that long, it's usually just because I'm in a reading slump. That book is the reason it's putting me in a reading slump, or I'm butter reading it with somebody. Because sometimes like certain people, when you butter read, like they cannot read it every single second of the day like I can, because you know, people have schedules, they have lives. So there's some books that I've been reading for over a year, and I'm only halfway through because I'm butter reading it with somebody else who doesn't have a lot of time on their hands to read, which I'm literally fine with because the story itself is actually interesting. And I was not in a slump before I started this book. This book is what caused the slump. I did not enjoy it one bit. This book was just, it made me feel like I was going crazy. It was so repetitive, and you know, there was some things in there that I just was like, what? There were some things I did not agree with. And also, let's just keep in mind, this is a children's grade book, and the reason I read this was because I'm trying to get into fantasy. So I was like, maybe I can start out with something easy, you know, I can start out with something easy and whatnot. This book, for this to be a children's book, it was pretty crazy. Like, there were some things in there I was like, do children need to be traumatized this early? Because there was like a lot of violence, you know, very detailed like violence, very detailed violent scenes. And I was just like, do children need to be reading this? Like, is this what we are letting our children read? I don't know, I didn't like it at all. Definitely not something you can. I don't think I'll finish the series. I gave my book away, which is why I don't have a physical copy. I gave it away to my brother because he actually likes the series. He owns most of the graphic novels, and I was like, here, try the actual novel itself, because that's the one I chose. Because I remember when I was like a few years ago, when I was trying to get back into reading, I tried to read the graphic novels, but the graphic novels just didn't catch my attention that much, so I gave up on them and gave them all to him, and he loves them now, and he's hooked on the series. And so yeah, he reads the graphic novels. But yeah, so the next book that I read this month was Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I gave this book 4 stars. I think this is kind of what broke me out of my slump, because like I said, when I started reading the book like 6-7 months ago, that's what put me in my slump, and I've been in it ever since. But legendary. I think this is kind of what like kind of broke me out of it. I rated it 4 stars. It was enjoyable. I have a video where I read this on camera. It was trying to see how many pages I can read in a week video, and I read this one on camera, and I believe I finished it on camera too. So yeah, this one was pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was definitely a very interesting sequel with a very interesting end, considering like after the first book ended, and I feel like there's a certain character in there that was our main Scarlet, who's our main character in the first book. I'm starting to like not like her now in the second book that much, but it's okay. We're gonna see in finale what happens, because I feel like Caraval was Scarlet's like villain arc, because they was out here traumatizing this girl, and this one is narrated by her younger sister named Tella, which there's only one thing I don't like about like this certain copy. I don't know if it's like in the other copies. I'm pretty sure it's just this one that I ordered off Amazon, because I go to Barnes and Noble and there's like a different, you know, version with like the shimmers and everything, and it's like it's cut right here for like the synopsis. But this certain copy I have, I'm not gonna like go get the other copy unless I feel the need to, but this certain copy that I have, it doesn't have the synopsis anywhere. Like, if this was in a bookstore, how are you supposed to know what this is about? Like, I know, like, oh, but you're supposed to read this first book first. What if I come into a bookstore like, oh my goodness, this is the second book in the series, and I go to read the synopsis and, oh, synopsis is non-existent. So how do I know if I'm gonna like it? I have to go home and see the synopsis online, and probably by that time I don't even want the book anymore because I had to do all that extra stuff. But that doesn't have anything to do with the actual book itself, like the actual pages itself. That's just something I picked up on in the synopsis. Told you guys this footage is gonna be really wonky because, yeah. So I just feel like that's just something that I really wanted to just point out real quick. But this book had a really crazy ending. This book was almost about to be a 3 stars because it genuinely kind of had me like, okay, like, are we supposed to care about these certain things and this and this and that? And, you know, Scarlet, Tella, she had some views at the beginning of the book where I was just like, this person's doing this to help protect your sister, and you're gonna blackmail this person so that way you can go tell this person and potentially put her life in risk. Like, some of her morals were just like she was not in the right headspace for a lot of the stuff that was going on, that she was doing and she was saying to people. So I just feel like, you know, that kind of was what made it 3 stars, but that ending is what brought it to 4 stars, and I cannot wait to start finale. The 4th book that I read this month was Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. I buddied this one with my best friend, Aaron Warner. That's his name, right? Aaron Warner. I don't see the hype. He's a little creepy. And I'm pretty sure what he did was assault. At the end of the book, I'm pretty sure what he did to Juliet was assault. Poor Julie. She's going through a lot, most definitely. And Adam, I also don't see the hype. He's boring and sketchy, if you ask me. I don't like either of the love interest. You know, the only person that I'm actually really vibing with right now is Kenji. So I rated this one 3 stars because, like I said, none of the actual love interests were like standing out to me. I was kind of just like, why are these people love interests again? I don't get it. But Kenji was like literally the only person that was just like I was actually vibing with. Juliet, at the beginning of this book, we are in a mental asylum, whatever. We're in an asylum of some sort, right? It's just reestablishment, whatever it is that she's trapped in. And this guy comes in and he steals your bed, and you're telling me that instead of like fighting him, laying a single finger on his shoulder and by instinct to get your bed back, you're just like, yeah, you can have it. Girl, no, get your bed back. Get your bed back. Also, this is not a spoiler. It's like literally in the first 10 chapters of the book where this happens. I believe it's like the 4th chapter, so I'm not spoiling anything. I just feel like that's just something I was just like, oh my goodness, Juliet, that's all it takes. It takes a pinky and he's gone. Got it? Okay. So the 5th book that I read this month was, pretty sure I started this one on my how many pages can I read in a week challenge as well, which was Hookie by Miriam Boschetour. I rated this one 3 stars. You see this, how it's so chunky? This, a little bit of this. The book could have been this long, right? But then we also had the middle. The middle where a lot of the information we got was pointless. The book could have been this long, and we would have got the same amount of information, the same feel. You know, there was a lot of points where I was just like, is all the information that we're receiving extremely necessary? Is it? Because it doesn't feel necessary. It kind of feels like we're doing filler pages. That way we can get, you know, so we can get more page count. But that's just me. You know, that's literally just me. And I did not know that this author wrote Hookie, the series, because I started another series that this author has on Webtoon, which this is actually a Webtoon original series. Started on Webtoon, which is like where you can read mangas and comics for free and stuff like that, and like graphic novels for free on a website. Because like, when I say for free, it's not like pirating. It's like these authors specifically make it for Webtoon, and some of them get published into books, some of them don't. But I did not know. I started reading a series by her that's called Marionetta on Webtoon, and then I came across this because my sister, she picked up on Hookie one day at the Barnes and Noble, and she picked this up and she brought it home, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I read it and I read it and I read it and I read it, and I was just like, this name looks familiar. This art style also looks extremely familiar. And lo and behold, I checked Webtoon, and this is her name, and this is her art style, and everything like that. I was like, that's just so cool. The 6th book that I read this month was something that quite literally had me in shock. A total state of shock. 5 stars. Chloe Walsh, please enter the room with Binding 13. This cover is hideous. I did buy the UK cover from Waterstones, and I swear, all those people who are like, well, you buy multiple copies of books because of the different covers from different areas, are you like mad or something? You promote overconsumption? I'm a collector. Okay, I bedazzle books, I collect signed copies, I collect special editions. There's a difference, okay? I have special editions coming in of Powerless. What? Powerless? I have special editions coming in. I have the paperback of Powerless coming in. I have a whole other copy of Good Girls Guide to Murder coming in from the UK because it has the TV cover on it. There'll be a full book haul when I am on, like, because most of the stuff is like books I already own, but there's different covers and there's different features. And I was like, it's not overconsumption, it's collection. There's a difference. Overconsumption is those people who go out and buy like the plastic stuff and do literally nothing with it. They just use it. It's one and done. These, I can reread anytime I want. I can buddy read these with somebody close to me because I have 2 copies. Do you ever just think about that? So, Binding 13, I hate this cover. It's atrocious. Why does the US get some of the most horrible covers? Okay, I will say, for certain romance books, the UK, I feel like we have a one-up on y'all for the UK covers, because I've seen some of Emily Henry's books in the UK, and the covers, I don't like the covers in the UK for Emily Henry books. You know, but like when it comes to like other books, like the Caraval covers, or like the A Curse for True Love series covers, or like what else? You guys freaking get Powerless in paperback, or the Binding 13 covers, or what else do I have up here that's like a really good cover? I've seen the like covers from like other places that have like Sky Shade and stuff and like Light Lark. I'm just like, the US gets some of the most crappiest covers because people in the US just don't care. I hate this cover. What does this have to do with the story? There's a cover out there where there's a football, or yeah, a football, because I know it's like they use the same ball, I think, but it's just a different sport. There's a football and it has the colors coming off of it, like the gray smoke coming off of it. Why can we not have that? Why do we have this tie-dye stuff that makes no sense? Okay, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Let's stop raving about the cover. It was a gorgeous story. I loved it so much. honestly, she put her heart and soul into this book. It was so emotional. It was so great. 5 stars, most definitely. And I do recommend you read this. I will say, whenever I hear about people reading about this book, I don't hear the trigger warnings for this. Y'all, I put this in my book review. And let me just check real quick. Okay, yes, it is in the beginning. I'm just going to read what's on the author's note because this has the trigger warnings. Binding 13 is the first installment of the Voice of Tillman series and the first book for Johnny and Shannon. Some scenes in this book may be very upsetting to readers. Therefore, reader discretion is advised because of its sexual content, violence, mature themes, triggers, and bad language. Also, it isn't mentioned up here, but alcohol abuse and child abuse, child loss, stuff like that. It is not suitable for readers it's suitable for readers age 16 plus. It is based in the the rest of this is just like where it takes place. But yeah, there's trigger warnings. You need to be aware of that before you read this book. I never hear anybody ever talk about them. I always let you guys know about trigger warnings. I don't ever hear people talk about trigger warnings for Binding 13. I just hear how it's such a cute, emotional story and it leaves people crying. Nobody ever tells you why. Nobody ever tells you what goes on in the story. No, it's always just, it's such a cute story. It's such a cute book. People talk about Magnolia Parks, talking about like, nobody ever tells you that it's toxic and stuff like this. Everybody says Magnolia Parks has that toxic trope, cheating trope, whatever it is. I never hear anybody talk about Binding 13. And being that Binding 13 is one of the most popular YA romance books, I feel like there needs to be more, because when I walked into this book, I was like, whoa, nobody's ever told me about this before. Nobody has mentioned the things that are mentioned in this book that take place that we get to witness in the book. We have to witness all of these things and scenes. Nobody ever talks about it, so I just feel like I need to tell you guys about it. And the last book I read this month is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, and you guys will be getting a reading vlog on this. I just finished it an hour ago. That should tell you all you need to know, because this is going to come out before the reading vlog because it's shorter and I want to get some content for you guys for the month of April because I'm going to be at author events during the month of April. So 4 stars. No, 3 stars. 3 stars. Did we really need 600 pages for this, Rebecca? Let's see. We could have cut out this much, Rebecca, and had 400 pages, and we would have been fine. We would have got the same amount of information, and there would have been, like, the same craziness. Okay, I just feel like there was some parts where I was just like, especially near the beginning. The beginning, we could have just cut out altogether. But I know why we couldn't. But I feel like there was some parts where she just threw it in there, like, oh, yeah, I'm eating cereal for breakfast. Like, obviously, it's not what was put in there, but it kind of felt like we were just walking through the daily routine. I feel like, yeah, but there was also major time skips, which you're probably like, you're just coming about there like being too much on one thing. But there's the thing, it would be random stuff that just didn't matter, but there'll also be random time skips where it's just like, oh, I just found like this crazy piece of information. By the way, it's Monday, chapter, let's say 2. Oh guys, it's Saturday. How did we get from Sunday to Saturday? Monday to Saturday, and we just found this big piece of information on Monday. So you're just telling me you haven't done anything about the information we just found out on Monday until you got to Saturday so you could see Zayn? Okay, great. So I see where people come from when they say it's a filler book, but I still felt like it was overall a great book, especially near the end, like where all the action was. But once again, why is all the action in the back? It's kind of like what I said about #murder funding by Gretchen McNeil. The 90% of the book was preparing for the action, and the 5% was the romance, and the other 5% was like the last 2 chapters where there was actually action stuff going on. Make it make sense, please. But that is it. That's everything that I read in the month of March. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram because I am an author. Make sure you guys go join me in the Facebook club because this month we'll be reading Fearless by Lauren Roberts when it releases. Thank you all so much for watching. Man out kisses. Maria, and goodbye, queens. Y'all, it is literally so cold in my house today, but we're gonna push through because I've already done the May TBR, and you guys need to know what I read in the month of April. So it's literally so cold. So I just want to go ahead and give a heads up that what is this? 1, 2. 2 of these videos I did individual reading vlogs of, and you guys are going to see those on the screen when I mention them. But I just want to go ahead and start out with the fact that we read a total of 6 books this month, which is a compliment. The goal is 5 books a month, and I had tons of books on this TBR in case I didn't want to read one thing or the other. And if you guys kept up with my Instagram, which I mentioned in the last video, then you guys would know that I got to sell some pre-orders of my book, and I got to sell book merch at an event, which lasted a few days. And then I also went traveling to Busch Gardens to have a nice fun time, and so I was like pretty busy last month, so I didn't get a lot of reading done. Well, I obviously got a lot of reading done, but it wasn't the entire TBR. But I got a lot done, and I'm proud of that. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the first book that I read. So, according to my what's this thing called? My book tracker, my book notebook, my whatever that thing is called. Here it says the first book that I read was First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick backstory on this book, and I know Goodreads and Fable say that I started this back in April. I started this back in March, right? So the backstory behind this is, I've actually mentioned this in another video, and the backstory behind this is, I finished Onyx Storm, which was a reading vlog for you guys, on the same day that I had attempted to read this book. So the thing with this is, I read Onyx Storm. It took me all month because I literally just couldn't get through it, and I finally finished it on the last day of March. And so I picked this up, and I was just like, okay, I'm a little palate cleanser. And the expectation was to finish, like, to not finish it, but to start it that day. I want to start that day to have a little palate cleanser. And I don't think I got to it until April 1st. So I started it April 1st one night, and I got about this much into it, and then I was like, okay, I really want to finish this. I know I have like such a little amount of pages left, but I really want to finish this, okay, but I can't do it tonight because I'm literally about to fall asleep, right? So that's like 8 hours. So another 8 hours passes at 16, and I read this that morning as soon as I wake up, which is 5:30. I wake up at 5:30 in the morning, finish this book after I did like my morning daily devotionals and my Bible reading and everything like that. I finished this book once I get the chance, which means, in theory, I finished this book in under 24 hours. And this book was a 5-star read. So, I'm pretty sure you've seen this like everywhere because everybody's talking about it, which is the reason why I loved it. I actually decided to pick this up because of Belle Therese on YouTube. I had this book. No, I didn't. She had this book and she read it and she finished it in under 24 hours. And I was just like, I need to get this book because we all know that Belle Therese, I wouldn't say she's hard to please, but when it comes to romance, I do think that she's pretty hard to please when it comes to romance. And for her to rate this 5 stars and say that she read this in 24 hours, I was like, okay, I need to read this, okay? Me and her, we don't have the same book taste, but I just had a feeling with this book, and I bought it, and it was 5 stars for me. So the backstory behind this book is a single mom, I'm pretty sure it was her 10-year-old daughter, calls into a hotline that he runs, and he's anti-love. Like, he had his experience, and he was just like, nope, don't want that in my life, right? So, like, her daughter calls his hotline, and like, she wakes up one night while she's on the phone with this guy, and she's just like, is my child talking to a grown man, right? Like, who's my child talking to? And this is how they basically meet. They meet through her child, and the story just goes off from there. So after that, his boss offers her a contract at their studio because their radio show is quite literally dying. Like, it's dying, and his boss offers her a job, and after that, they're working together to try and find her a date or someone that she can marry and someone that she loves, and boom. The story just goes from there, sparks fly and everything like that. So yeah, 5 stars. The second book that I read, I was just like, when you guys didn't vote for this book for my April TBR, because you guys voted for my April TBR. When you guys not this book, I was gonna read this one regardless. And same thing with another book that I'm about to read. Like, I'm gonna show you guys, but. When you guys didn't vote for this book, I should just listen. I should never picked it up because I did not like this book at all. I gave it 1 star. I love the first book. What did I give the first book? Help. Why did I set it right there? I love the first book. The first book, what did I rate it? Help me. Did I rate this? I rated it 5 stars. I rated it 5 stars. So I was like, okay, let's go into the second book. Please do not welcome to the stage Keeping 13. The only thing good about this book is the floppiness. That's the only good thing about this book, okay? Everything else can go down the cover. Go down the gutter. This cover, it can leave. I want the UK cover for this, even though I did not like this book. Shannon, please leave the premises. Johnny, you can most definitely leave the premises. Okay, like, I didn't like it. It was so repetitive. It was like the same old, same old. Like oh, wait. Skip the entire me talking about keeping 13 if you don't want spoilers on Biting 13 because this is a continuation. But it was so repetitive. It was like she went to school, her brother tried to pick her up, she yelled at her brother went home, and, she'd hang out with Johnny and her friends, and she get home late, and her mom's crying, and she yells at her mom, and then she goes back to school, and she gets picked up by her brother, she yells at her brother, and then he leaves her there, and then, oh my goodness, and Johnny's being aggressive, goodness gracious, please, I need something different from us, please, like, it wouldn't be bad if we just added something different. Why was it so repetitive? First of all, not to mention this is a YA book, and I'm gonna open this book up real quick. I'm gonna open this book up. This book's Keeping 13's second installment of the Boys of Tubman series, and the second book for Johnny and Shannon. Oh, I'm gonna skip this next one because of its sexual content. That's all you need to know. That should be in the adult section, sweetheart. It's rated 16 plus. No, that means it should be rated 18 plus. There's a difference. Because with Binding 13, it's in the young adult section. And you can say, oh, well, there's the warning there. Do y'all know the amount of people who skip the first few pages because they see the glossary and they're just like, okay, let's just skip to the first chapter? Do you know how many people do that? I'm sorry, but you cannot start you can start the book with the also by Chloe Walsh, people do that, Keeping 13, right? The next page shouldn't have been the For Nikki. The next page shouldn't have been the author's, oh wait, that wasn't author's note, but y'all do know that after you see the For Nikki, people are skipping through these pages like it's a wildfire spreading. They will flip through them so fast they do not want to read that. They'll go to the next page and they'll see a glossary, they're flipping to chapter 1. They're flipping to chapter, because nobody's gonna read that. Nobody's gonna read that. So I read it. I missed the entire sexual content part, but why is it in YA if there was content like that? And between minors? Come on, we can do way better. I almost DNF'd the book right there, but I was like, Maddie, you don't DNF books, you're gonna feel so bad for DNFing it. I should have just DNF'd it. I really should have, because this book made me so mad, and it still infuriates me to this day. And I could tell you guys about the plot like I did for a first time caller, but I literally did already. It's the same plot over and over and over and over and over again. Do you see how big this book is? This book is heavy. It hurts my arm to hold it up for a long period of time. This book is over 600 pages of the same thing over and 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 over again. See how that got annoying, how I kept saying and over and over and over? That's literally what I felt my entire reading experience. It was the same thing every single page, and see how my voice repeating over and over again got annoying and repetitive? This book got annoying and repetitive. Okay. Loved Binding 13, then Keeping 13 just all went wrong. It just all went wrong with that book. Next up, what did I read next? No, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna say anything about this book, okay? Next up, I read Fearless by Lauren Roberts. Y'all, if you guys don't know, Powerless is actually my favorite series, and it actually moved up a lot when I found out. So I actually looked it up, right? Because I've heard it everywhere. Apparently, there's a rumor going around. Not a rumor. I'm not gonna say a rumor, but there's speculation. Because I feel like that's exactly what it is. That Lauren Roberts is a Christian. Because in Fearless, she thanked Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the Lord, our Savior, God. And if I didn't love her book before, I loved it 10 times more after I found that out. Because I don't read acknowledgements. I'm being honest with you guys. I may or may not have wrote acknowledgements in my book, but I don't read acknowledgements. But they're really special. And I really want to acknowledge my book to people, but I don't read other people's acknowledgements unless I'm really touched by the book. but definitely trust and believe. Like, after I heard that, I read all of Lauren Roberts' like dedications and acknowledgments at the back of her books and at the beginning, because literally I love that so much. So I was so excited when Fearless finally dropped. And this girl is chunky. Like, how many pages is this? Goodness. 5? Wait, no, that's her dedications included. I'm talking about like just the story. 588 pages, which is like, it's heavier and bigger than the first 3 books, which is like, when I say 3, I'm also including the powerful novella. So I'm not gonna say anything about this book. I'm not gonna say what it's about. I'm not gonna give you guys any spoilers, because I literally have an entire reading vlog up on my channel right now that you guys can literally go watch after this video, where you watch me read this book and my experience, and I will give you guys a little, like, I'll give you guys a little detail. I cried. If you guys want to see me cry, then definitely go click that video. But Fearless, honey, I rate this book 5 stars. I just said something. I'm gonna cut that out in the video, but I'm gonna send why I think that that's gonna happen. Just go watch the other reading vlog. I'm pretty sure I explained it there. So yeah. Next book that I read was, I needed a little palate cleanser before I got into the last 2 books of last month, because I was about to hop into something crazy. I'm about to hop into 2 really crazy stories. Funny Story by Emily Henry. I rated this book 3 stars. It did not live up to the hype that I thought it was going to. Like, everybody I've seen has loved, like, utterly loved this book. Okay, so Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is the first Emily Henry book I've ever read. Okay, I've never read anything by her. I own one of her other books, which is Beach Read, right? And she just came out with Great Big Beautiful Life, which I do plan on reading, because a lot of the book clubs that I'm in right now plan on reading that, and I actually do want to see if I'm gonna like that. And last time, I waited for the paperback to come in, because I know, like, Emily Henry's team, they move fast. Like, once a hardback cover drops, they're like quick to do the paperback. So I was just like waiting. I knew it was gonna come, and boom, lo and behold, next time I went to Barnes Noble, it was there in paperback. So I got my paperback, right? So, funny story, right? I thought this was like, I heard about it. You guys know I go into most books blind. And a lot of people have been talking about it, and I ever heard somebody talking about the synopsis. So I was just like, that sounds amazing. I need to read this like instantly. So I ignored Beach Read, because I was like, I'm gonna read. I didn't ignore it. I'm waiting until June, late June, early July, to read Beach Read, because I have a ton of books for the summer. Like, I'm gonna be reading Summer of Broken Rules, the second book in the Liar's Beach duology, Summer in the City. What's some other summer books that I have in here? Most of my books I haven't read up here. Oh wait, Wildfire. I'm not excited about that. When in Rome. I have some more books over there. I'm not getting up right now. Go look at those. Y'all are tripping if you think I'm getting up. And I've also ordered some other summer books. So I'm definitely waiting for summer to come to read Beach Read, because I'm a mood reader, y'all. I like to be in the vibes, the zone, everything like that. So, Funny Story by Emily Henry. I was expecting a lot from this book, and this book was 3 stars, which does not mean it was bad. It was good the first like this much, but then after that, it just kind of like lost my focus. Like, there was a lot of plot holes to me. Like, I really want to see the interaction with, oh wait, I can't even, there was a certain person that she put off at the end of the book, and I really want to see their interaction after that, because I feel like, I don't know, I just want to see it. There was some, like, confusion. There was some minor characters that weren't mentioned a lot, and, like, like, of course, there are minor characters that aren't mentioned a lot, but, like, some certain characters be related to other characters, and we would never hear about them ever to like the end of the book, and I'd be like, who is this character again? Like, I'd have to go back, like, was this character ever mentioned? Who is this dude? Who is this girl? Who is this guy? We've never heard the name before. So I just feel like there was like easily forgettable parts, and there were like tons of plot holes. But basically, this girl right here had an engagement, and this guy right here, he didn't, but he had a girlfriend. And basically, her fiance called off the wedding to get with his girlfriend. So now these two are fake dating, because they were both invited to their wedding. So they're both fake dating, so that way they can make the groom and bride nervous, and things are take off from there. So it's like a best friends, because they're also friends, like fake dating type of situation. It was like, Do you see why I really want to read it? I was just like, oh, wow. Like, just thinking about the plot makes me smile. Okay, the next book, which is the 5th book I read this month, was also for reading vlogs, so you guys are not going to get a lot of this. So go check the reading vlog out. Heir of Broken Fate by Mads Rafferty. I read this book. It was good. I read this book 3 stars, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 3 stars. I was on page 270. And it was kind of getting repetitive. No, not 200. 370. It was kind of getting repetitive. I was just like, I'm not feeling it, right? So it's kind of getting repetitive. I skipped 100 pages, got to page 475, and gained the same amount of information I would have if I read the entire 100 pages that I skipped. You wouldn't know why? Mainly because those 100 pages were the same thing. Going out every single day, looking for stuff that was like literally not there. And like, I got the amount of information. I rate this not 5. I rate this 3 stars. Do plan on continuing the series. You guys will get more reading vlogs from me. I don't know why I keep starting up series for you guys' sake. I'm literally starting 2 new major series this month. That like one is like extremely long and there's still books coming out, and then another one is it's long. Let me not exaggerate. How many books? It's 4 books, and the series ended a long time ago. So I'm so exaggerating. I'm still starting like another series this month though, and that series, the 4-book one, I can't read without you guys because that's our book club book of the month. Go check out the Fable Book Club inscriptions. You guys can read with us. We're reading Red Queen this month. So yeah, and the last book I read with a 4 stars. If you get this reference I'm about to shout, please stand up. Okay, Samurai, stand up. Okay, because this month we read Monsters We Make by not this month, last month we read Monsters We Make by Corey X Kenshin. It's his new manga series, and I have been a samurai for a few years, like 4 or 5 years, I want to say. This guy is actually really funny. Okay, I don't know if he likes to read or not. I don't know if he likes to read or not. He probably has mentioned it, but you're gonna have like I'm Dory, yo. I got short-term memory loss. No, I don't. I will not speak that upon myself, but still, I don't remember if he's ever mentioned liking to read. So it really shocked me when he came back to YouTube with an advertisement for what seemed to be an anime, and then a future video explaining that no, it was not an anime, it was actually a manga. And I was like, I need to get my hands on this manga, and I ordered it, right? And it did not come until like 4 months after I ordered it, but I actually did look up the reason why on the website, and it was like basically there was like when he announced the book, there was like tons of orders for the book, and like a lot of the books were like still getting printed and stuff like that, and so they were only able to send out a few at once. So like yeah, a lot of people received theirs like a few weeks after they purchased it because they ordered them like extremely early, not extremely early, like they ordered it like the second that they saw the link had dropped and stuff like that for pre-orders. They had bought their copy, right? So I had bought my copy like a few weeks after pre-orders because I was just like, I don't know, like Corey Kenshin, he's a gamer. I'm not saying that gamers don't read or write. I'm just saying like he's a gamer, right? But then I thought about it, I was like, he's also mentioned multiple times that he loves manga, he loves anime, so I was just like, we're gonna see, okay? We're gonna see. And I'm gonna do a video doing a deep dive on this. But we're gonna see, okay? So what am I thinking right now? Right. So I ordered it and I got here late because I ordered it late, right? And I read it last month and I was shooketh. And Corey posted something today. Today I'm filming this on the 5th. He posted something today on the Monsters We Make Instagram with the caption just being 4 weeks with a picture of the characters in full color, which you guys know most mangas don't do full color, just like this one. It's in black and white. So it was in full color. I was just like, oh wow. Yeah. So I don't know what we're getting in 4 weeks. I don't know if we're getting the next trailer for the next book, if the pre-orders are coming out, if they're announcing the next book, the next title, who the book will be focusing on the most, all that stuff. If we're gonna like see some more sneak peeks in 4 weeks. But I just know like he's posted it twice, like season like volume 2 is coming and everything like that. So we'll see. But Monsters We Make. So Monsters We Make, like I said, I'm gonna be doing a deep dive on this, but I'm not gonna make you guys wait too long. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick summary. So Monsters We Make is about this boy. He goes into, what is it called? I have to like check. I know it. I know the school he goes to. I just need to remember the place he's at. I think it's called like New Eden or something. He goes to New Eden because Old Eden is like all messed up and crazy, and it's basically run by technology. Like this place is fueled of technology, and he goes to his new school, which is, oh wait, school literally called New Eden Academy. He goes to New Eden Academy, right? And he basically, all these kids are warning him, like, bro, like, don't show up and show out. Do not go out here and act like you crazy and you fool, and do not draw too much attention to yourself. Does this boy listen? No, okay? Because all his life he has been trying to hold back. He's like, I'm here, this new school, and I'm not going to hold back. Which, one of plus one man right here. But also, we all know the code rules. Somebody warned you on multiplication, and most people warn you on multiplication. Please listen to that warning. And yeah. And basically, he gets involved with something that he didn't really want to be involved in. I think the only reason I took off the star was because of Jabari. Because he got himself into the mess and had the nerve to complain about this mess. Like, everybody was warning him left and right. And when he got into the mess, he was like, bro, like, he burst into tears crying. And he was like, bro, I don't know what to do. Like, I didn't want this. Like, that would be a threat. My family be a threat. Boy, you got yourself into this mess. People warned you on 77 occasions and you did not want to listen. So I did kind of, like, if you guys cannot tell that, like, really annoyed me. Like, I just hate when characters don't take advice and then complain and cry over it when the outcome that the people that warn them of comes. Like, bro, don't play games in my face, please. Because, you know, good and well you were warned like 78 times. Did you listen to those warnings, though? No, you did not. You did not. So 4 stars. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you guys all enjoyed. And I did want to say Friday is the day that the Chaotic Book Lovers podcast comes back, and I cannot tell you guys a theme yet, but I know the premiere is up now. You guys can go set your notifications for the premiere. If you guys look at the title of the like premiere and look at the thumbnail, you probably guess what the theme of this month, like this season is, because we do it every single season. So this is spring, so you guys can probably guess what the theme of spring is if you just look at the thumbnail, look at the title. But you guys, it will be revealed on Friday, which is when the first episode comes out, and after that it'll just be dropping episodes literally whenever and whenever, just like this one. Video. And let's just quickly, I want to go ahead and say that pre-orders for my book are up. We have signed personalized copies and unsigned unpersonalized copies up on my Etsy shop, which is always linked in the description. It says Etsy shop, and just click on that and you can choose if you want a signed or not signed copy of my book. And yeah, so it's about these 2 girls from 2 different backgrounds, and they both find out that they're part of the royal family. So when they move in, the guards and staff and the people at the castle are quite literally just like, oh my goodness, like, we don't like you and we're gonna like kill you. But basically they have to break a curse, right? And they have to figure it out. So it's a YA clean fantasy mystery. And I want to clear the air because I mentioned like YA clean books, and everybody's like, it should be clean anyways, it's YA, like there shouldn't be no smut and everything. That's not what the clean means. Clean just means like there's no swearing or anything in there. Like, that's literally just what clean means. YA means, yes, like there's nothing adult themed in the book. It's clean just means like there's no swearing. It's like if you would like to search up this song clean version. That's literally all it is. It's just like a book, but it has no swearing at all. Yeah. So I think that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Made out kisses. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Made out and goodbye. Yes, I am fully aware that we are almost 2 weeks into the month of June, and I'm just now doing my May wrap up. But please spare me some grace, y'all, because I have been posting content this month. It's just, I have 2 very long videos that I'm in the process of making and also editing. I'm editing one, I'm filming the other. And I'm in the process of, you know, that, and they're really long videos, which I don't know, because I haven't finished editing the first one. I barely started it, so I don't know by the time these get to you guys if they're going to be long, but to me, the footage is over an hour long for both of these videos, and I'm going to see if I'm able to cut them down or not for you guys, but that doesn't matter, okay? So Please give me some grace. I've been trying to pump out some content for you guys every other day, and this is kind of just like the result. But we are finally getting into the May TBR, and I must say, May was probably my best reading month. And let's see how many books I read in the month of May. I read 15 books last month. Wow. Okay, 15 books. That's a lot. And I used to read 15 books. No, I would probably read like 10 books a month last year, but if you guys didn't know, I'm actually an author and my book is coming out this year. It comes out next month. So I've been really focused on that all year. So I have not had a whole bunch of time to read because I've been planning, working, designing, revising, making content, and everything like that. So I've not had as much time to read because I've been in the process of getting the book out to you guys. I just sent out the emails for anybody who's part of the ARC team, and I've been trying to situate PR boxes and stuff like that. So I've been busy since January, y'all. Busy since January. But it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so we're gonna start this. These are not in any particular order because I usually number the books here, but what I did is some of these I got confused and numbered some of them multiple times with the same number, so I don't even know which one I read. So I'm just gonna start out with the books that I physically read because a lot of these I read on my phone and audiobook wise. So we're just going to go ahead and get into it. So, the first book that I'm going to pay attention to, mind you, I'm saying pay attention to because usually if you guys watch my wrap-ups, I said the first book I've read this month because usually they're numbered correctly, but I read so many this last month that I did not number these correctly. I was just like speeding through books, okay? So, the first book that I'm going to mention is the book Unravel Me by, I think it's Tara Mafi. I don't know how to pronounce this woman's name, but girl, you did your thing with this. Okay, I rated this book 4 stars. And if you guys know, I think where's Shatter Me? Shatter Me is right here. I even bedazzled Shatter Me. So Shatter Me, I rated 3 stars, I think, because I was like, the writing's kind of, and I'm not liking any of our love interests here. Like, they're both kind of weird. But then Unravel Me, I was kind of like, okay, it's better. And there's angst, and there's this, and there's that. And I'm loving all of this. And also, there were so many, like, plot twists in this book that I was, like, not expecting. I was like, okay, wait, dang. You did not have to shock me like this, girl. And I've been seeing everybody saying, like, you have to read the series at least once in your life. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. You need to read this series at least once in your life. And I'm only on the second book. And I'm telling you this. You need to read this series at least once in your life. And I'm so ready for Ignite Me, but I'm actually buddy reading this series with my best friend, and she's still on Unravel Me. So I'm waiting for her because she was like, you can finish Unravel Me, but you cannot start Ignite Me without me. So it's just like, okay. That's fair. The next book that I have, which you guys actually saw me read this one, it's Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I rated this book 3 stars. I actually did a reading vlog on this book. It has spoilers as well though, but I did a reading vlog on this book and it's on my channel now. You guys can go watch it. I think it's probably one of my shortest reading vlogs ever because I just was not filming while I was reading this. I low-key, sometimes I just forgot to pick up the camera. I was reading to be reading, and I was like a little too in the moment. And also, I listened to the audiobook a lot while reading this, and I play a game called Cooking Fever. It's kind of like relaxing to me, and I was just playing that while listening to the audiobook, and so I was not picking up the camera. I was more focused on completing them levels, y'all. But it was okay. The ending kind of had me like, whoa, but it was really confusing. I did not know what was going on half the time, and I checked in with other people. I listened to the podcasts, I read reviews, and I was not the only person that was confused. So I think that says a lot about this book. I did not know what was going on half the time. And also there was just like some things that I even missed because I zoned out a lot while reading this book. I missed a lot. That I didn't even realize until I had started reading people's reviews, like, whoa, when did that happen? And other people would be like, whoa, when did that happen? And it would be like a major thing about what happened with this and that. So it just goes to show, like, that book was confusing and not a lot of people understood it, and I was one of those people. So yeah. The next book that I read or am taking notice to is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And this was a 3-star read for me. Now listen. This book was actually really good. I actually enjoyed myself. I enjoyed my experience reading this book. I think that this is a series trilogy. This is a trilogy other people need to read. I just got The Wicked King the other day, and that's going to come up, and you got to see me buy that book in an upcoming video, which is actually the long video that I was talking about. And so the Cruel Prince by Holly Black, it was good. Okay, there was just like some parts where I was just like, this is confusing me, and also I was just like, I didn't like the dynamic, because if you guys don't know, I know you guys, I know you guys have seen the series, the Cruel Prince series. Everybody talks about it. It's between Jude and Carden. That's who you always see. But the thing between Jude and Carden is that Carden bullies Jude like almost to death. And when I say almost to death, I'm not exaggerating. I mean like this girl almost dies on multiple occasions due to the hand of Carden, and we somehow find chemistry in that. So I was just, wow. Also, I was actually really surprised because this book doesn't have romance until the end of the book. I'm not big on fantasy and not big on politics, and that is exactly what this book was, fantasy and politics. And I found myself enjoying it because Jude was also going on like her little side quest, and I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. But Jude's sister, I forgot what her name was because she's so irrelevant to me, got on my nerves a lot throughout this book. Like, girl, if you don't shut your mouth and just go along with your day, because I'm really not in the mood for you today. Okay, I'm really not. So yeah, 3 stars. And in my book, 3 stars is actually a good rating because that means I liked the book, but it wasn't amazing and it wasn't in my mind forever, but I enjoyed it and I'm willing to continue the series. So it wasn't a bad book. It was a good book. I do recommend this, but if you're not into politics, not into fantasy, it could be hit or miss because I'm not into those things, but I actually enjoyed this book. But I know a lot of other people who are not into those things do not like this book. So I guess it's kind of like your tolerance for these things. The next book that I want to mention is Taken with Trouble, which was 2 stars, which I'm actually upset that I didn't like this one because there was a book that I read by the same author. This is in a duology. I don't know if there's going to be more, so I'm just going to say duology right now because there's only 2 books out, not even considering the novellas. And this is by Janessa Faith. So, Taken with Trouble is the second book in the Date with Danger series or duology. Date with Danger was a 5-star read for me because I just enjoyed it so much and it was amazing. But then Taken with Trouble, I could not get into it. I did not like, the dynamic. I didn't connect with the characters. They fell flat for me. That was disengaging, and the hair just got on my nerves a lot. And it also honestly felt like we were getting nowhere. It was like loopholes and everything like that, and it kind of annoyed me a lot throughout this book. So I rated this one 2 stars. And the next book that I read in the month of May was Akatar, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and I gave this book 3 stars. Okay, I know people obsess over Rhysand, but I did not get the hype. I genuinely actually did like Tamlin in this book. I didn't understand why people hated him, but I asked my friend, and I'm not gonna say who it was because she was like, it's basically a crime to explain why to someone who hasn't read it yet. So I'm not gonna out her because yeah, but I know why people don't like Tamlin. I need to get into this big green book here. It's on my TBR for the month of June. If you guys have not watched my June TBR video, which you guys actually should go watch, it's on my TBR for this month. So I definitely want to get into it, but I'm scared because that book is chunky. That book is chunky, okay? So A Court of Thorns and Roses, it was 3 stars for me. It kind of fell flat for me. Like, I enjoyed the story, but it fell flat for me. And her sisters at the beginning, I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, oh my goodness. I'm trying to like find a book where it's like you don't like their siblings. I think specifically keeping 13, because Abiding 13, I like. But if you guys read Keeping 13, you guys get what I'm saying. I'm trying to see if there's like another book where I just don't like the siblings. Because it's a book. Or her relatives. I could say the relatives. Relatives, then you guys can even see that. Well, Light Lark, I don't like their relatives or the parental guardians, for say. But I didn't like a lot of things about this book, but I also didn't hate a lot of things about this book. I feel like it could have been improved, it could have been better, but I cannot put my finger on what it was, and I just wish it was better, and I wish it was there for me. Like, I wish I liked it more, The next book, where is it? Also, I did not plan on reading this book. It's kind of like it released, and I heard so many good things about it, and I read the reviews, and I was just like, okay. I did not like the other books in the series, but what is this? This is the fifth book in the series. I did not like. Did you guys just see that? I think it's dying. I need to charge it after I film this, but I did not like the other four books in the series, so I was kind of scared picking this one up. This is the fifth book, and it released last month, I think. It released last month. I did not like the other ones in the series, but it was a new release, and I had to get my hands on it because I really want to read it because of all the reviews that I saw, and I was just like, okay, okay. And with King of Envy, I feel like Anna Huang's writing style is back, and it's better. Like it's the Anna Huang we loved when we read the Twisted series. Although I did not like Twisted Games, this was like the Twisted Love, Twisted Hate, Twisted Lies Anna Huang that we got back with this book right here, and I was just like, okay, I like this one better. You know, what did I rate this? I rate this one 5 stars. Okay, I just like the dynamic. It was so cozy. It was so fun. I liked our characters, and also, um, sorry, I've read a lot of books in like the past few days, and I characters are going in one ear and out the other. Ayana, or Ayana, doesn't matter. I like how she was represented in this book. You know, first of all, girl of color, which also Stella. I did not find this out until like earlier this year. Which, mind you, I read Twisted Lies in the summer of last year. I did not find this out until earlier this year. I did not know that Stella was a woman of color, which I love that. But Ayana is also a woman of color, but not only that, but she's a model. And what we see in this book is we see the representation of people who are in like public industries and in the light of the eye, the things that they have to go through behind the scenes, like controlling managers, people who try to take advantage of you, people who do certain things that we don't like to mention. But I do, hold on. Are there trigger warnings for this book? Because I definitely think there should have been like a minor one. Yeah, I don't think there is a trigger warning. I don't see one, but I feel like there should have been a minor one because there was a like scene I feel like could trigger people. I don't even know how to describe it because it didn't go far, but I like a guy try. What is the term? He tried to push himself on her. I don't know what that is, but it was somebody that she worked with, and he basically tried to blame it on her and tried to get her fired after she refused. So yeah, I don't know if that's like trigger warning worthy because it was really minor and it didn't get too serious because she like cut it off and she was like, yo, I'm not doing this today because I've had a really bad week. I've had a bad week and I don't feel like any of this today. So she kind of like hurt him and left. You know what I'm saying? So props to Ayana because girl, you ate that up. And the last book that I read that was on my physical TBR that I physically read was Finale by Stephanie Garber, and I read this one 4 stars. Do I remember anything from this book? No. And I've actually seen people be like, if you don't remember anything from the book, it's not good. That's not true. Like, I remember. Dang it. I'm trying to like I'm trying to plead the fifth. Mm. Love on the Brain, Love on the Brain. I liked Love on the Brain. I don't remember a single thing from that book, but I enjoyed it when I read it, and that's what matters. So I enjoyed this book while I read it, and that's what matters. That's why I rated it the way that I did, because I enjoyed it while I was reading it. And I when I write reviews on books, usually I write them like a day late or like later on that day or like 2 days later. So if that's ever the case and I've had time to sit on what I think, and usually if I wait, it's because I have to sit on what I think, I have to sit on my thoughts. But when I finished this one, I was like, okay, this is a solid 4 stars. Like it's between 3 or 4, and I was like, 4 stars. Let's give it 4 stars. So it was good and I enjoyed it. I don't remember a lot of things that happened in this book because it was a lot. We had dual POV, which we did not get in the other 2 books in this trilogy, but yeah. Now I can officially go into Once Upon a Broken Heart, which, by the way, people have been going into Once Upon a Broken Heart without reading Caraval, but you have to understand that Jax is a character in Caraval and he makes multiple appearances, and I feel like what's happening in Once Upon a Broken Heart, because I've seen things where people like he does certain things because of what happened in Finale, and I feel like it spoils the entire thing for you if you don't read the Caraval trilogy first. You need to read the Caraval trilogy before reading the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, because Jax is an important character in Legendary and Finale, and I feel like you have to understand where he comes from before reading his story. So I've seen people do that and they're like, it's ruined, and I was like, do you guys not check publication dates? Like, I don't know. Anyways, now we're going on to books that I read on my phone and read on Audible and stuff, because these were like Kindle books, but I don't own a Kindle. That's why I'm saying on my phone. These were free for people who have Prime and Kindle Unlimited. I have Prime. I don't have Kindle Unlimited because I don't read on my phone a lot, but I didn't want to read these stories. Okay, so the first one I read was Cruel Winter with You by Ellie Hazelwood, because I have been putting this book off because it's on. You have to read it virtually. I don't like reading books on a screen. I just don't. I like having the physical copy. And okay, now I hear that how that sounds. Miriam, I know you're watching this because you watch a lot of my videos, and I know I've been like pressing you to read Releasing 10 while you're on vacation, to read it on your Kindle and everything like that. You keep saying you need the physical copy. I get what you're saying now. Yeah, I don't like reading on my Kindle, but you like reading on your Kindle. I don't. Okay, I don't like reading on my phone. I don't like reading on my computer. I don't like it. I can do audiobooks and I can do physical copies. Nothing wrong with reading on your phone or your Kindle or whatever it is. I just personally don't like it because I read to get away from my screens, and that just doesn't help me, Doesn't help me at all. So yeah, I put my best foot forward and I did it. And Cruel Winter with You was a what is this? What is this? Is gibberish. 5 stars. I'm assuming that's 5 stars. I liked it. It was cute. She wrapped it up cutely, and this came in a series of novellas. And between this book and I think what 2 others? No, between this book and one other, these were like it was good, and everything else was like horrible or it was like mid. Cruel Winter with You, I don't even know how to explain it. It was reverse age gap. That's I can tell you. It was childhood friends, then strangers, then lovers. I don't know how to like explain that really well. Next up is Merriment and Mayhem by Alexandra Bellafuller. Which one was this? Because there was a lot. What just fell? Oh. I don't know. I liked it, apparently. I rated it 4 stars. I don't remember what it was about, though. Then we have Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey. Tessa Bailey, that's my first impression of you, honey. That was a 1-star book. Someone had to say it. It was like, was it that book where she was a single mom? Was it that one? Guys, I just gotta say that one of these, it was somebody with a single mom, and that baby was left unattended. I'm crying right now as editing because I was like editing this and I heard me say that thing was left unattended, and I was like, wait, did I just call the baby a thing? But no, I said that baby. I thought I said that thing was left unattended, and that's why I'm like cackling right now, because I thought I said that thing was left unattended. On multiple occasions, I'm calling child support services. Next one was All by My Elf by Olivia Day. I didn't understand if we were promoters, professors, workers, like if we drove a food truck, because it was so confusing. Like we were talking about 7 different careers in only 50 pages. Make it make sense. It was 1 star, by the way. I did not like this book. Please. A lot of these authors is my first impression of you, so I was kind of just like, whoa. Is their writing like this level? Like, I get it, it's a novella, but like, it wasn't even like the romance that was the romance was kind of a problem for Tessa Bailey's book, because I was just like, it's a man you just met. But with this one, it seemed like they have been friends or co-workers for a long amount of time. It was the setting that she had us in. It was the wording and the writing style that I was just like, okay, that's not it. Are you dying? This one is The B Word by Joe Lamp. This is a children's book, and Technically, I didn't listen to the audiobook, I didn't read it, but a girl on my Instagram For You page showed up and she read the full thing, and it was hilarious to me. And I was like, well, I obtained the information and I know what it's about, so I marked it as read, and it was 5 stars because it was funny. And it's a children's book, but I don't recommend it for your children. Wow. That is all for, well, I guess only read 14 books because one of the books I looked in there, which was All by My Elf, and I put that down twice. I don't know why. So I read 14 books last month, but I read a lot, and I'm proud of 14 books. So maybe in the comments down below, you guys could tell me how many books you read in the month of May. What was your favorite, and what was your least favorite? Because I definitely want to hear it, because maybe your favorite might be something I've already read, or maybe it might be something that's on my TBR, and I might prioritize it. And I believe this mic is dying because it keeps blinking. So if this audio is messed up, I'm gonna be so mad. Bye. Oh, join the Discord server and and follow me on Instagram. We're back with another video, and I don't care that this video is like what? Tomorrow's the 5th. I don't care that this video is coming out on the 7th. What I do care about though is when my hair is nothing like this. Please don't play games. Don't play games with me. My face a little shiny, don't y'all think? I don't care this video is coming out on the 7th. It's coming out, ain't it? I know we're like a week into the month, and listen, I said this in my last video where I did my TBR video. The TBR video was supposed to come out, then this was supposed to come out, but it got delayed because my CapCut didn't want to work for like 3 days straight. So I love my job. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what else you guys want to say. Also, I figured out like that you guys know my book lovers. My Chaotic Book Lovers podcast, that might be coming to an end after the last episode 9, because I just genuinely don't know what else I would do after this season. Like, season 4, episode 9, and I don't think I'm going to do episode 10, because I don't have any ideas for episode 10. But that's besides the point. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, because I am an author after all. And with me being an author, I would love for you guys to keep up with me there, because my book comes out this month, July 31st. You guys can go pre-order your special personalized copies, because once these sell out, well, not once they sell out, but once the actual book releases, once the book releases, the personalized copies will be on a very limited quantity, and they will not be restocked as regularly as they are now. And right now, if you pre-order it, you have a guaranteed copy. Also, I'm filming this on July 4th, so if you happen to hear, which I don't think you will because I have my mic, but if you happen to hear rain, not rain, but if you happen to hear fireworks, I don't know what you want me to do about that, honey. I really don't know what you want me to do about that, okay? But whatever. Today we're doing my June wrap up. And I read 6 months. I read 6 books in the month of June, and it was a pretty good rating month. I mean, I only had one book that I rated under 2 stars, and everything else was 3 stars and up. I had a total of I had a total of 5 wait, not 5. I had a total of 3 5-stars, 1 4-star, and 2 3-stars, and then 1 1-star review. So I think we had a pretty good month, because I read a total of 6 books, and majority of them were pretty good. They were like, I liked them. So I do want to go ahead and get into it. I would say it in order. Hold on, let me because this is not in order, and it's gonna make me extremely mad that it's not. Okay, first book that I read in the month of June was Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh, and this one was a 5-star book. Okay, Lizzie Young has been my favorite in this entire series. Okay, and by the way, have I read Saving 6, Redeeming 6? No. Did I read Taming 7 after I read Releasing 10? Yes. Do I stand by my thoughts and opinions and decisions? Also, yes. I'm gonna make a rant video after I read Saving and Redeeming 6, but I think it might be mainly towards Taming 7 and Releasing 10 that the rant will be about, because whatever, we're not on Taming 7 yet. But Releasing 10, Lizzie Young has always been my favorite, and I never really paid too much attention to Hughie, so I was just like, yeah. But since Lizzie was my favorite, I was like, this book is going to be my most anticipated. Like, when I found out this was coming out, I was like, okay, this is going to be my most anticipated book from this series, right? And I was like, let me skip books 3, 4, and 5 because I know book 6 is going to get spoiled for me, okay? I was like, okay, like this book is going to get spoiled so hard for me, and it's what I've been most excited about. Like, this is my most anticipated release of the year, I want to say, like between that and then like Ali Hazelwood's books, and then obviously my book. But this this chunky book, I don't even know how to hold this properly, but most anticipated read of the year. So I was like, I need to skip all the other books, especially after I found out that this book takes place before any of the books up there. This takes place like years before these books. So I was like, yeah, I can definitely read this without spoiling anything. And I was correct. Did I know a single thing about what happened in the other books? No, because they weren't mentioned. Because like I said, this takes place when they were like 5. My goodness, 5 and up. I really want to say, please check your trigger warnings for this book. I don't read trigger warnings, and because they usually don't get to me, I don't have any triggers. But reading this book, as someone who doesn't have any triggers, I was genuinely uncomfortable. And I loved it. Because, first of all, it just made it seem more real. But, you know, like, it made it seem more real. I felt like I was really connected. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, it's so disgusting what's happening in, like, the book. But, honey, it's disgusting what happens in real life. It's something that happens in reality. You need a reality check. It's something that happens in real life. And you're right, it is disgusting. But Chloe Walsh is not going to sugarcoat it. When have we ever known Chloe Walsh sugarcoat anything? This is the author of freaking Binding 13 here. Ooh. When have we known her to sugarcoat anything? Like, let's be real. But it was dark. I loved it. Did I cry? No, but that's because I'm not a big on crying in books. I feel like if I was, I most definitely would have, though. Because this was dark. It was emotional. It, like, really touched me. I was just like, okay, wow. The second book that I read in the month of June was Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. Like I said, Ali Hazelwood was like the second person I had like the most anticipated reads of this year, and I read this in less than 11 hours. Started at 4 a.m. for my walk. I did the audiobook from 4 a.m. all the way to 6 a.m. because I did my walk, I get groceries. And I went home and I literally finished this book. I literally finished this book, okay? It was great. I enjoyed myself. It was so good, honestly. Oh, I like literally blanked out there. This, if you guys read Not in Love and Deep End, you guys will like this one. And the reason why I say that is because this is the second book in like that little duology, whatever this is supposed to be. Not in Love. This follows Maya, which is Eli's, I think his name. I didn't like Not in Love, if you guys couldn't tell, but Eli's little sister, his problematic sister, and you know it's all that good. And then the only reason I say I feel like Deep End is because we see the characters from Deep End. There's like a little cameo of them, which I was like really happy about because whenever I see characters from other books, I'm just like, oh my goodness, what is that my bestie over there? Is that my bestie over there? Like, even if I didn't like the book, is that my bestie over there? Because I didn't like Twisted Games, but when I saw Bridget and Reese and every other book, I was like, oh my goodness, yes. Twisted Games, it sucked. That plot twist kind of threw me off first the book and I didn't like it. Like, okay, sweethearts. Okay. I read, let me help you out there, Sky Shade by Alex Astor, which I actually did this one for a reading vlog on my channel, which you guys should go watch like right after this. Only if you've read Sky Shade though, because it's a spoiler reading vlog. Sky Shade. I rate this one 3 stars. This is a YA book. Don't play games with me. This is a YA book, but it seemed to have adult scenes. What I know, no, because I always skip adult scenes. I skip spicy chapters. What I know, no. It's just it kept leading up to that, and there was like some really suggestive dialogue. So I was just like, skip this page too, and and that page I'm gonna skip it as well. Alex Astor, you wrote an adult romance for a reason. Don't put it in the YA. I picked this series specifically because it was YA. Because I know in a lot of my wrap ups, y'all will see that I read for the most part, YA books because, yeah, I picked up the YA book for a reason. And that's really why I did not like Nightbane, because I was just like, it's kind of getting like too out there. If you need to pull a Sarah J. Maas, just say that, okay? If you need to change it, because I know Akatar was supposed to start off as YA and it changed like mid-series. If you need to do that, please do, so I can stop picking them up. But it was good for the most part. I actually like the story better than I did Nightbane, because Nightbane I think I rated like 1 star. This is probably my favorite book of June, because it's literally tapped up. I just want to say before I show this book, I do not tab my books because I'm just like, I don't see the point. You know, I've done it to a few of them, but like most books, I don't tab. I don't bother to bring out the tabs. But this one is like, here, I'm gonna do it like this one is tabbed. I'm trying like not to spoil the book, but this one is. Ooh, I just dropped it. It's A Rendezvous by Poppy Leanne. This is a Christian romance. Hop on the bandwagon, baby girl. Hop on the bandwagon. Because, honestly, Poppy Leanne, when is the next book dropping? Because I think she said she's dropping another Christian romance, but it's going to be, like, darker, you know, like darker themes. Listen, I just want to go ahead and say something real quick, because I'm also writing a dark book, like a dark Christian romance. There's a difference between a book with dark themes and dark romance, because I don't even look at the dark romance by Barnes & Noble. I don't even look at the dark romance. This right here, this series right here, is what we call romance with dark themes. This series right here, you guys, my arm is like covering it, Binding 13, Boys and Gentlemen, is what we call romance with dark themes. There's a difference between dark romance and dark themes, and I'm just ready for her that, because it has dark themes, it's not dark romance. I'm just ready for it, because Poppy Leanne, you're telling me that this is like the best book I've read in like all year. Like I'm not like I've had 5 stars this year, yes. Like Fearless was a 5-star. First Time Caller was like I have a book journal right here. That was a 5-star. Red Queen was not a 5-star. Fourth Wing was a 5-star. Dang, I didn't have a lot of 5 stars. I had Binding 13 was a 5-star. We had 5 stars this year. This was the best one though. I just think it was something about me learning more about Jesus. Sorry, like please ignore me. This is like getting on my nerves. I don't know why when Amazon does like, because she published with Amazon, I believe. When Amazon does these laminated covers like this, where it has like the shine, it's like peels. It's so annoying. Like please, just stay on the book. Please. It's not that hard. But I was like learning so much. Like I'm gonna see if I can pull up a quote, because like I said, I can't find one. But I do remember, like, one of them, for example, was the human fingerprint has 66 lines, and there are 66 books in the Bible. Just food for thought. I really like this one, and I do think this was, like, a really nice read. So if you want to read a nice Christian romance, I definitely recommend this, because once again, I do not tap my books. Even if it's, like, such an amazing story, I never tap them. This, though, was tapped. I think my Bible is tabbed more, though. You guys should see. I'm talking about not tabbing books, and I'd be tabbing this. You guys should see my Bible, though. Because my Bible is, like, filled with tabs. I need to get a new one, because I literally can't even read it anymore. Love that for me, though. The next book I read was The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith, which I actually have the special edition for this from Fairly. If you guys want to see like the entire thing, check out my Do Bookish Things With Me video, because I showed it there at like the end of the video. But yeah, so The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. I rate this book 3 stars. I definitely I did not like Red Queen, but I definitely do think like if you like Red Queen, I don't remember what specifically from this gave me Red Queen vibes, but if you, oh yeah, I remember. But if you like Red Queen, then like, why are you, honey? Please stand up straight. You always, whenever I look at you, you're always somewhere besides where I put you. If you like Red Queen, then read The Rose Bargain. I think it's just like the rebellion part, like not specifically like the fact that there was a rebellion, because I've read so many books where there's like rebellions, but I think it's like the specifics of how the rebellion happens that I'm just like, oh wait, that's Red Queen, like that's like Red Queen, but like not as in like the way y'all was accusing Powerless of being a carbon copy of Red Queen, because Powerless and Red Queen are like two different books. I didn't read Hunger Games though, so subscribe because I'm reading that this month. The Hunger Games, yes, I'm finally doing it, y'all, because I'm new to the reading realm. Um, but the Rose Bargain, I was like, oh yeah, like this kind of reminds me of Red Queen. Was it a copy? No, because y'all be taking the words copy and and copy are not the same thing. Please, this it was good. I liked it. It was 3 stars. So yeah, the next book I read is my 1 star. Mind you, there's 2 books here. One is by Chloe Walsh, and the other is by Lynn Painter. Take a guess. Take a guess. I'll let you guess real quick. I didn't tell you which books. Well, you guys probably know which one's from Chloe Walsh. If you guessed Hemming 7, then you were correct. I said this in another video. I don't know which one. I said it in like probably 2 though. Claire has always been my least favorite of the group, and it's for always just the same. It's for 2 reasons. And I'll get into that in a second here. No, 3 reasons actually. Like this book made me hate her even more. And then as for Gibbsy, I liked him in every other book but his. Like I was just like, okay, we get it, shut up. And then there was also like when you re-releasing 10, there's something that he says at the beginning of Taming 7. Like you probably like you know that it's kind of just like, okay, wow, you're extremely immature, and it's like, why like you're putting Lizzie at jeopardy for you. Oh, we love that for us. Like I wouldn't be friends with Gerard either. Like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it. Y'all could not pay me. May friendship like that never find me, because I couldn't do it. May friendship like that never find me, because I don't want either Claire or Gerard's friendship. But, like, come on. Like, especially after releasing 10, you're just like, okay, wait, crap. Gerard, don't play them games with me. Don't. May friendship like that never find me. Am I saying that what Lizzie did in this book specifically, can you please sit upright? In this book specifically was correct? God diddly darn dang it, no. Especially at the end, I was like, okay, Lizzie, wait. Lizzie, you're actually you're kind of going out of proportion here, sweetheart. I'm sorry, I'm just like crashing out right now. But like, come on. And then as for Claire, there's 3 reasons I don't like her. Number 1, this is a releasing 10. Not much of a spoiler. It's like within the like the first 50 pages of the book. Not 50, but like, yeah, probably 50. Yeah, I want to say like 50, 60 pages. She literally ditched Lizzie for Gerard every single time. And so Claire ditched Lizzie every single time. The second she came over, she would just like ditch Lizzie. For example, at a party where Lizzie knew nobody and Gerard knew like 7 people, like 300,000 people, she ditched Lizzie for Gerard and left her there on her own. They friendship like that never find me. And then in Taming 7, like, once again, this is like not a spoiler, it's really revealing like the first 50 pages. People would like literally trash talk Lizzie, and she would either agree with them or like not say something. But it's like somebody dared call her a name, she'd be like, you guys don't do that, because like, draw the line at calling my friends names, but you can talk crap about them all you want, and I'm not gonna even mention it to them. I'm just let you guys do it, and I'm gonna agree with you every single time. But last time I checked in Binding 13, if somebody even dared to look at Shannon menacingly, she'd be ready to fight. If you have favorites, just say that. Because it's clear as day, Claire, because you're not a good friend. And also, she's not a good friend to Gibbsy either, because, she's like, oh my goodness, Liz, I don't know why you don't like Gerard. Can I just say one thing? If you see that one friend does not like another friend, and that it usually calls both friends distress, why are you going to keep putting them in the same room? Like, why are you gonna keep inviting one friend to the place you already know that other friend is going to be at? Because you already know it's gonna start drama. And they're gonna be surprised when they start fighting, and you're gonna be like, everybody's calling the other person the bad guy. Why did you invite her in the first place? You know, this would happen. You're just here for the drama. You're just here for the drama. Claire, I don't like you. I never did like her. I never have liked Claire. And there was another reason. I think I said 3 reasons, right? What was the third reason? I don't remember. I don't know. She just annoys me a lot. So 1 star. Cause how do I like Gerard in every other book besides his? Like, how you gonna flop in your own book? And then Claire just never liked her, so I was just like hoping this would be like the redemption for her, but it was most definitely not. But it's like at some points, I just gotta remember, like, bro, these people are teenagers. You need to calm down. It's not serious. They're all fictional characters, and this is not happening. Well, some stuff is happening in real life, but like specifically the storyline with these certain characters is not happening in real life. So you need to calm down. You know, I can't do that though because I have no chill whatsoever. Yes. And the last book that I read in the month of June is by Lynn Painter, like I said before. I'm sorry, I just like lost all train of thought. There. Why is my hat sliding off my? My head is big. Stop. Do you see how wide this is? The length, the width, and the height. Why is my head so big? Betting on You by Lynn Painter. This book was 4 stars. I'm gonna put this right here because I'm not holding this the entire time. Betting on You by Lynn Painter. 4 stars. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was thoroughly impressed after reading Better Than the Movies. You know, wait, I'm saying that as if Better Than the Movies was bad. It was Better Than the Movies was good. I'm thoroughly impressed, okay, that I've had 2 books of hers in a row that were like 4 stars for me. I don't think Better Than the Movies was 5 stars, but I do think it was 4 stars. Her books have been 2 stars for me twice in a row. Can you please? You're just like Taming 7. Sit up. Straight, please. Anyways, I was thoroughly impressed. I was like, okay, I like the storyline. I like how this is going because it's a mix of like enemies to rivalish to friend dishes, co-workers, whatever, to lovers, and it's also fake dating for like half of the book. Yes. I was kind of confused by that ending, specifically with her friend. I was just like, oh, like, are we not going to go for like the other person? But then I thought about it and I was just like, oh, okay, that actually makes sense because why would I want to do that to myself? Endless toxicity. Endless. Anyways, I don't know. I liked it. I do kind of think like there was like a little something missing. I don't know, for me that I was like missing. I was just like, okay, wait, what about this? I don't remember what it was. It obviously wasn't that big of a deal if I can't remember, but I was just like what? Like, we're missing something. That's why I rated it 4 stars instead of 5. I also don't think it was like 5-star worthy because I just like I at some point of time I literally could not pick it up. I was just like, do I have to? Like, do I really have to? Girl, just for you to know, when you read, you don't have to pick up a book if you don't want to. You can DNF it. I just don't like DNFing, first of all. And second of all, it wasn't that I didn't like it. I was just drawn to other books. Besides, like, anything but this book, I was drawn to. I finished it, though. Help. Round of applause to me. Yes, thank you. But anyways, that is all for today's video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a video. That will be all for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all so much. Mighty out kisses. Mwah. Ooh. Mighty out and goodbye. When you guys are seeing this, it is the 10th of August. Guys, listen. You guys saw the TBR. I'm only obligated to do the TBR early, okay? I made sure the TBR was early for you guys, so you guys could be able to wait for this wrap up, because I read a lot last month. So, the reason I did read a lot was because, first of all, reading vlogs actually, because I did a Hunger Games reading vlog, which, if you guys watch the vlog, you guys already know that it's here, so I'm not really spoiling everything else that I read. And there's like 1 or 2 books in here, 1, 2, or 3 books in here that I read during a 24-hour readathon video, but you guys don't know what books are in that unless you watch it, so go watch it. Like, go watch it right now before you watch this and then come back here, because You thought you could get away. You can't. Ha! Look at you. So, listen, y'all. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books that I actually read, and then this book is a little something we're going to talk about at the end, right? But these are. Man, I probably should have put these in order. Oh, help. The first book that I read is like probably at the bottom of the list. It is. You know what? We're not going to do this in order. I'm just going to tell you guys what number it is, okay? So, the first book in the stack here is The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. What order did I read this in? I read this book. This was the 5th book that I read in the month of July, guys. And honestly, I rated this 3 stars. Because, let me just tell you guys why. I don't know what it is with the series, but I genuinely do feel like not the Hunger Games, oh my goodness, what? The Inheritance Games series, trilogy, whatever it is a little overhyped. Don't get me. I just feel like with the first book, I read the first book last year, and I'm just now getting into like the second book. Guys, the first book was more revolving around the romance than it did the mystery plot. And I was just like, I'm not here for the romance. I want to know what's actually going on inside this house. And in this one, it was a bit better. We would focus more on the mystery than we were the actual romance. But then this girl was letting people boss her around. Like Avery. Like people were like, Avery, get out the kitchen. And she would get out the kitchen. Avery, you own the house. They live in your house and you're letting them tell you what to do? Avery, you have to do this, that, and the third in your house. And she would do it. Girl, you own the house. You don't have to do anything these people tell you to do. And honestly, that just like really annoyed me because I was just like, Avery, let's have like some common sense real quick, darling. Like, let's just think. Let's stop and think. We don't need to listen to these people. We don't have to listen to this old lady when she tells us to get out of the house. She does not own the house. You own the house. You have all this money. You own the house. You own the football field. You own this and that. You don't have to listen to these people when they tell you, oh, you can't do this. Listen, she was letting her bodyguards boss her around. I get it. They're trying to keep you safe. But, like, if they gonna tell you, you can't leave the house. I can't leave the house into the jet that I own to go to the island that I also own. Got it. Like, you're gonna tell me how to live my life in the house that I own with the money that I possess. I pay you. Actually, I pay you. You're gonna listen to me. You're gonna listen to me because I pay you. All you have to do is protect me. You don't get to tell me what I get to do and what I don't get to do. These people are living in her house for free, and you're letting these people tell her what to do in her own house. Avery, please grow a spine. Put a bone in your back, please. Because this made no sense. I was annoyed to my core. Yeah. But once again, it was an improvement. So 3 stars, I guess. 3 stars. The next book in the stack is Developing Feelings by Sierra Spencer. This was the second book that I read in the month of July, and this book was 2 stars. Listen, Sierra Spencer, indie author, she's a queen. I read, what was it, Model Behavior? Yeah, Model Behavior. Loved it. This one, I couldn't get behind. Like, this girl had an entire temper tantrum because her friend didn't tell her a certain thing on her friend's own accord. You're crashing out. You're crying and having a temper tantrum at your friend who's already stressed. And then it was like, it's supposed to be like reverse Grumpy Sunshine and whatever. But it wasn't even the fact that what was even her name? It wasn't even the fact that Harper was grumpy. It was the fact that was her like entire, what is it? That wasn't her entire character, her entire personality. Like, she literally mentioned it so many times, like, and then I'm always angry and always upset, and like that's just me. Like that's just me. Like, it's literally giving Demi Lovato. Please give it a rest. I don't need this. Also, do you guys see my new Funko Pop? Every time you guys see me, I have a new Funko Pop. I got the That's So Raven Funko Pop. I got this one off of Depop because I could have got this one off of Amazon if they have it up there. I didn't check, but you know, if I'm gonna buy something that's already in nice condition, I might as well buy it off of somebody else so they can get their bag, you know? So I just got this one. It's the That's So Raven Funko Pop. Honestly, I love the That's So Raven show, so I just had to get the Funko Pop. And then she came with a stand because she can't stand on her own because one of her heels is like elevated a little bit, so that's why she has the stand, guys. Okay, back on track. Um, Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. This book was the 7th book that I read in the month of July, and I rated this book 2 stars. You see, the art is gorgeous. Let me show you guys just a bit of the art. Here, for example, art. It's literally gorgeous. And I think that's the only, like, that's the reason it got 1 star in the first place. The 2nd star went to the Juliet. Oh! We had like a few Julian and Scarlet scenes, and like that's the only reason it got the 2nd star. The Tella and oh, I can't even say who she ends up with because it's literally gonna spoil the 2nd and 3rd book. But Tella and her love interest are the most toxic couple out there. They are so toxic for each other. It's sickening. Listen, no, because actually, why was it executed like this? Listen, if you guys have read this book, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure what happened to Tella was a crime. She was kidnapped. She was held against her will. She had to do things against her will. And then at the end, I was literally like, Merry Christmas! Get this junk out of my face. This book goes up here. I can just like put this away. Yeah, sorry. Oh, next one. This one's a good one, guys. The next one is I'm gonna pushing that back so you guys can't see the covers. The next one is The Hunger Games, and what was the order for this? This was the 3rd book that I read in the month of June, and I rate this book 4 stars. Why did I have to I knew the rating, that's why I didn't look at my notebook, but this book was rated 4 stars. I did an entire reading vlog off of this, and I believe I read this in under 24 hours. Stephanie Garber, The Woman You Are. The Woman You Are. This book is amazing. Masterpiece. Please go read it. And I need to watch the movie, but I want to read Catching Fire first. So that way I feel like I'm a little ahead of myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I do that. But I need to read Catching Fire. And I want to watch the Hunger Games movie. Because this was a masterpiece. And I need to get to Sunrise on the Reaping because Sunrise on the Reaping already has a movie deal. So. I'm scared to continue the series though. Like genuinely, I think I'm gonna like end up heartbroken or something if I continue the series. Like honestly, hello? Can you like go back to your spot? You had your spot. Like go back to your spot in the You just sit there then. You just sit there then. Next book is just Trishan Strong by Kwame Mabalia. I DNF'd this book. It was boring. But I also think it's the fact that I just don't find myself as somebody who enjoys Greek mythology, and this book was heavy on it, and I was just like I don't even think it was Greek mythology that it was like really circled around, because it was more like children's fairy tales that was centered around if like they came to life. I DNF'd it. I was really bored, and I could barely read a full page without like wanting to throw the book across the room because I want to read something else. So I did something I don't usually do because you guys know I usually push through books. And I was halfway through and I was like, guys, we can do this. And I literally couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So that book, it was a DNF. And I'm not even guilty about doing that. Next book is Meant for Now by Alison Specca, and this was the 9th book that I read this month. I rated this book 3 stars. Listen, I would have enjoyed it more. It was the same thing with Developing Feelings. It was reverse Grumpy Sunshine, and I've been waiting for like Oliver's book since like Trip Switch, which actually is not that long because this book was the book that came out right before it, and it came out earlier this year. Whatever. I've been waiting for Oliver's book since Trip Switch, and he served. Now, little Miss Frankie over here had to be the buzzkill that she is, and make her having no job, being some grumpy grump that doesn't like people, her entire personality. Every time we turn around, she's like, I suck so much because I don't have a job. Girl, you literally work at your sister's restaurant. You have a job. You have a job. Please, please, please don't make me mad. You have a job, so stop saying you don't. You do have one. It might not be the one you want, but you have a job. You don't even want your other job. You don't even like your other job. But the second you don't like another job that your sister owns, it's a problem. Literally, Oliver could be talking about like the most simplest thing to her, and she'd be like, that's great, but I still don't have a job. Girl, shut up. In the nicest way possible. Like, I feel like this book would have been rated higher if her entire personality didn't center, like her entire dialogue personality didn't center over the fact she didn't have a job. Like, I get it, that's why she came to Key Ridge in the first place, but like, we got to the halfway mark, and we got to the 60% mark, and I was just like, okay, wait, like, you're actually doing a bit too much. Like, we're 60% into the book, and you're still complaining about how you're jobless. You have a job, first of all. You're not even jobless. You have a job. But you're still complaining because you're jobless. And then she made her not having hobbies her entire personality as well, because she'd be like, oh, well, I'm like so boring because I have no hobbies. I don't do anything besides work and sleep and eat. We get it. But like, you say you're boring, but then the second that Oliver or Maddie or somebody would offer you a job, you'd just be like, ew, no. Not job, hobby. You'd be like, ew, no. If you don't try to solve your problem, the problem is gonna stay. It's not gonna solve itself. She had to be forcibly removed out of the house. Okay. You know, I don't ask questions around here. I'm just here to review books and talk about books and write books. Because, oh, speaking of writing books, I wrote a book. It's called The Ruined Royals, and it came out July 31st. It's a YA clean fantasy mystery. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of tags. YA clean fantasy mystery novel. Yay! I did it! I got it! Yay! Why did I lock in? Why did I lock in like that? Okay. So yeah, The Ruined Royals just released it like, well, when will y'all be seeing this video? It's gonna come out on the 10th. Well, for me, I'm filming this on the 7th. It came out literally exactly last week because today is Thursday and it came out last Thursday. But for y'all, it came out 2 weeks ago because it's gonna be Sunday when you guys are watching this video. See? Your girl is smart because I have an upload schedule. Your girl is smart. Also, speaking of upload schedule, how'd you guys like that day in my life video? If you haven't seen it, why haven't you? Also, I feel like for some reason the month of August is gonna be like the time where I do like extremely long videos, because I literally posted a 3-hour long video, but in my defense, that was a compilation of all the episodes of the Chaotic Book Lovers podcast. Then I posted the 24-hour reading vlog. Self-explanatory. Then I posted the Spend the Day with Me. That was long. Then I have at least 6 or 7 reading vlogs planned for you guys. And those, you guys know, my reading vlogs are usually long. And then I also have some Bible videos coming out. And the planning that I've done for those, they're like long videos. You guys are going to be fed this month. Say thank you. You're welcome. Okay. But where was I? Oh my goodness. Like, child, let me get back on track, because y'all are not sitting here watching me talk. What am I? You guys are not sitting here to watch me talk about upload schedules and long videos. You guys are here to watch me tell you guys about. Guys, my Hunger Games copy just fell. That was actually a hate crime. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put her on the shelf so she can be safe. Also, I have no clue if my mic is working because what video was it that I was editing? Dang, what video was it? It was a video I just edited too. It wasn't my vlog. I think it was my TBR, my ambitious TBR. The audio, it was giving, there was no mic at all. So let's just hope when I go to edit this, it sounds better. The next book that I read is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. And this book was what? This book was the 6th book? I can't tell. The marker I used for that one is actually really light. 6th book I read, and this book was a 4-star read for me. Guys, I get the hype around surrounding this book now because everybody was like, this book is so good, you have to read this book, you have to read this book, you have to read this book. And I was like, why? What is so special about this book? It's amazing. It is a beauty in disguise because what the heck? I had the time of my life reading this. There was like, when I got to like, I want to say like right here, so Tuesday, when I got to Tuesday, I didn't put it down. Like I read this, so like I read this much in like a day, right? Like I read this much in a day. Then I was just like, it's okay. It got right here the next day. Finished it. Could not put it down. I was just masterpiece. Oh my goodness. If you haven't read this yet, please go do. I'm hopping on the bandwagon of trends. Because this has a reason to be trending. And you guys know I just don't go around liking books that are trending. Like One of Us Is Lying, I literally I despise that book so much. Icebreaker, I don't even own that book anymore. Well, I do because it hasn't sold. I'm selling it on Depop. That's how much I hated it. What's another book? Okay, I was about to say. Listen, low key. Okay, to all the boys I loved before. I looked at my shelf, and the shelf is just basically just very popular book talk books. Like I have the Boys Atonement series, I have the Pumpkin Spice Cafe series, I have the Shatter Me series. And I just looked at it like, see, I don't like book talk books. And I looked over here and I was just like, okay, wait a second. This entire shelf is just really popular romance book talk books. But, so all the boys I loved before, no. The Summer I Turned Pretty is mid. I'm currently reading It's Not Summer Without You. It's literally sitting on my bed right now. That's why it's not on my shelf. And it's better. But I think after I read We'll Always Have Summer, I'm going to finish the Burn for Burn trilogy, and after that I'm going to be done with Jenny Han, because the Burn for Burn trilogy is the only books by her I've ever rated 5 stars. Like, I've fully enjoyed, like, couldn't put the books down. Everything else is just like, no. We got so sidetracked. Once again, this book was 4 stars. Please go read it. It was so good, y'all. It was so good. Also, I just want to point out, I'm filming like 3 videos today, so you guys might see me in the same outfit for 3 videos straight. Guys, I promise, I'm not dirty. I shower. It's just some days when I have like that energy boost and I'm productive, I triple film or I double film. I'm not dirty. I'm not a dirty hooligan. And also, you guys might watch my shorts and be like, why is it every time we see you have a different set of nails on? I can't keep a set of nails on to save my life. I have an entire box of nails, press-ons, because I can't keep a set on to save my life. Mainly because, like, I'll get a new set in the mail, and I'm just like, okay, off you go, off you go, off you go. Like, these are literally new. These are new. I just got these in, like, 2 days ago. Literally had on this cute gummy bear set. But in my defense, if you guys watched the Day in My Life video, one of the nails like, popped off when I was on my walk, because I had to try to put on my little strap thing. Did not know where it was. And then, like, for the rest of the day, like, the nails were, like, popping off. Literally, one of the nails, like, so the nails have, like, stars on them and everything like that. I'm showing you if I can, like, show you guys one. But these nails, they have stars on them. And one of the stars, like, literally just, like, fell off. And it was just, like, a single sprinkle. And I was just like, okay. Also, not to mention, it started to look dirty after, like, 5 minutes. And I was just like, I don't really like how these look. Because it looks like I literally dumped my fingers in dirt. Is this it? Okay, well, this is one of the better ones because this one has a gummy bear on it. But, like, this is, like, the set specifically. Hello? Hello, can I pick it up? Hello? See, like, it's supposed to have a star on it. And it was, and mind you, it was a brighter pink than this. Had it on for 5 minutes and it, like, started to look like that. I don't know if it's the nail glue, the nail the nail glue remover. Girl, it's something. We keep getting sidetracked, and I apologize because, child. Okay, the next. Oh, we only have 2 more for this video. I always complain about me, like, having extremely long videos to edit. This is what I spend most of my time doing. I spend most of my time yapping. The next book, or this is actually the first book that I read in the month of July. Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Guys, this book, when I read this, 4 stars, I get the hype. Would I say read Caraval first? Yes. Caraval, Legendary, and Finale, I would say read those first because the male main character in this book is in Caraval, and the reasons he does certain stuff or like says certain stuff is going to basically spoil that entire series for you. So if you're thinking about reading the Caraval trilogy and then reading this one, I would recommend doing Caraval trilogy and then Once Upon a Broken Heart. But if you like really don't care about spoilers or like you don't plan on reading the Caraval trilogy, then I would say just jump into it. But I read the Caraval trilogy first, and I'm really glad that I did because I would have either not understood anything or I would have spoiled the entire Caraval series for myself. Please read this book first, but not this book. Caraval first. This book was really good though, and I enjoyed myself. I had a lot of fun. Like there was some points where I just like couldn't put it down. I was just like, oh, hold on a second, I'm reading. Like reading this amazing. Like this was good. Not 5 stars, but it was good, and that's all that matters, guys. Because like not every book has to be a 5 star. As long as I'm enjoying myself, I'm having a jolly good time. I'm sorry, like my book cart. I have a book cart because no, not because of over consumerism. Because people have carts dedicated to their TBRs. I could like I get it if like you have an entire thing full of that, but like and you don't have any shelf space, but it gets to a point where you do have shelf space and you're just like putting everything on a cart. Cause like where is it supposed to go? After. Wait. I sound slow. I'm sorry. I have a cart because all my shelves, I have a shelf over my bed that's built in. It's full. This shelf, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 5 shelves full. So I had to get a cart because they were just stacking up on my floor and I didn't want bugs to find a little home in between my books. So I got a cart as of right now until I can get like a new shelf or something. Because yeah, and I think like even when I do get a new shelf, I'm probably just gonna keep this and like have like essentials or something and like snacks on this cart because it's gonna make my life a lot easier. Why do we keep getting sidetracked? I'm so sorry. And the last book, which I read but I didn't technically read, is my book, The Ruined Royals. So don't ask about this. The border is intentional for anybody wondering, because I know some people might be wondering. It's intentional. Don't ask about the not for real resale. My author copies, I ordered them 2 weeks ago. Don't come in until tomorrow because today's Thursday. They don't come in until tomorrow, so I have to keep using this until they come in. I ordered my author copies 2 weeks ago. People ordered my book the next day. Honey Boo Boo, why do I not get? Okay, whatever. You know what? I don't ask questions. This book is about 2 girls, 2 different backgrounds, and they both discover they are related to the royal family. But upon arrival, they discover that the staff is out to get them. So they find out the staff is out to get them, so they have to put aside their differences because they're very different. Like one girl's literally obsessed with pink and the other girl's like, don't even talk to me, I don't like people. They have to put aside their differences, form an alliance, and break the curse that looms over the castle. Also, I just want to say, because I know a lot of books now are like too drawn, it's like romancy. This is not romancy, it's just fantasy. It's just fantasy. Because I just want you guys to know, they are related. They're related. They're related, guys. They just never met until they, came to the castle. I don't know why. I don't know why I felt the need to clear that up. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Well, that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. And make sure you guys subscribe too, because Is my energy not giving? Is the editing not giving? Because I know sometimes I be slacking. I be slacking on the editing sometimes, and I'm so sorry. Is the energy not giving? Is the editing not giving? Am I not giving? Tell me what's going on. Like, why aren't you subscribed? Why aren't you subscribed? Whatever. Subscribe and like the notification. Wait. And like and hit the notification bell so you guys never ever miss a video. And also comment what was your favorite book that you guys read in the month of July, because I would love to hear it, because I might end up reading it this month or next month or sometime soon. No guarantees, because I can never stick to my TBR. That's why I said for this month it's literally free will. Like, literally in my book journal, it literally just says free will. Ignore the freaking red parts. Like, it literally says free will, because this, as you guys can see, the books that don't have stars is stuff that was on my TBR that I didn't read. What's another example? June is not a good example because I read a lot of books off my TBR. Here, April's TBR. Perfect example. So it's free will. But thank you all so much for watching. Love you all so much. My now kisses. Mwah. Maddie out and goodbye. Hello loves. I decided I was going to do a different setup for today's video because I'm getting tired of the other bookshelf. So we're on my bed. Which, if you guys watch my reading vlogs, you guys actually have seen this before. I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to fix the camera. That is perfect. Okay, great. Ignore my plushies. So I know it's a little late, as in like 10 days late. I really didn't want to do this video. I don't know why. I want to do every single video I had planned besides this one. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But we're finally doing my August wrap up. After like every other video that I did. And August wrap up, I didn't have like a set TBR because I was just like, it was an ambitious TBR. Like, if you guys remember, I just like named random books that I really want to read, but I didn't actually make myself a set TBR because I didn't really have like a feel of what I want to read, and I didn't know what I was gonna have time to read. Because last month it was like my book got released like the day before August, so it got released July 31st. Which you guys should actually like go buy my book, go read it. It's a clean YA fantasy. I wrote it. It's about two girls from different backgrounds who discover they're part of the royal family, and then after finding out this information they move into the castle. But these two girls are like different, like not just different backgrounds, like they have different magic, they have different personalities, different likes, different dislikes, stuff like that. And when they find out that there's a curse that's roaming over the castle and that there is like the staff is out to get them, they have to literally put their differences aside, use their magic together, which is like really different. Which is like one girl has fire, the other girl can talk to animals. Like, those don't go well together. And basically break the curse and defeat the staff, like the guards, the chefs, and stuff like that. And even on the back it says 2 girls, 1 curse, and decades of jealousy. Like, I have to say nothing else, actually, right? What? Nothing else. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. If you guys want to hear more about my books, I post up there about my book like every single day. And I'm trying to get my books together, I'm so sorry, but I post about my books every single day up there. So like, you guys should like go check out my Instagram and stuff. But I guess we can go ahead and get into this video. Let's go ahead and start with the first book that I read in the month of August, and that was A Girl Named Ivy by Allie Marie, and I rated this book 2 stars. Now, you guys see how big this book is, right? Okay, well, I wasn't feeling it, like, at all. It kind of felt like it was written for a child. There was like a lot of grammatical errors that I caught on to. I was just like, oh, you know. There was also like, I just was bored, and it also felt like it was really repetitive and like slow paced, and like it was too over explanatory of like everything, like even the little details we didn't need to know that served us no purpose, like what color the walls were. Like, I get it, feel like I woke up in a room with like pink walls or something. No, it was like I woke up in a room with pink walls that had like that pebbled texture. Like, what is, like, I get it, you're trying to like serve the purpose, but like if I'm in the bed, right, in a hospital room, also this is not like a real scene. I know the hospital room is a real scene. I don't know what color the walls were, but like if we're in a hospital room, right, and I'm laying in bed, I just wake up, then the first thing I'm gonna notice is not gonna be the pebbled texture on the walls. The first thing I'm gonna notice is the fact that I'm in a hospital bed. Like, why am I here? Why am I here? You know, it was just like little things like that, and it felt like there was like times where we were running around in circles, and there was all this mess, and I wasn't interested in it. So therefore I rated it 2 stars. Unfortunately, I do like want to read some more about Allie Marie because she's written, I think, 2 other books. One of them literally just came out, so I do want to read one of those because people like those books better than A Girl Named Ivy. Like, I'm not the only person that didn't like it. There's a bunch of people that are like that read A Girl Named Ivy that were like, okay, yeah, her other 2 books are like way better. So yeah, the next book, this one actually started a while ago, but I finished it this month. I don't know why it took me forever because it's just like 80 pages, but it is A Scoop of Honey by Ashley Hetherington. This is a Christian novel because you guys know I'm a Christian girly, duh. This is a Christian novel, and I think the reason it took me so long is because I don't know if you guys can see it clearly. Like, it's up there some and like some pages, but I was annotating this book and underlining and highlighting stuff like that, and then I was relating it back into my Bible and stuff, so it was like a full-on like deep study. So I think that's why it kind of took me forever to like get through. But this was kind of just like an introduction. Like, I feel like this is more for people who are just getting like into Christianity and stuff like that, which I feel like for me, I'm just now like delving deeper into it, and like I'm taking it seriously. So this is kind of like a guide on like what to do, like what kind of versions to get, like do you need to go to church, like how to dress, you know, finding Christian friends, like just that kind of stuff that helps you feel like less alone, feel understood, stuff like that. So it was just like a cool little like quick little guidebook for Christians to learn more, you know. So it was a 5-star for me, obviously, because I feel like this, like, while there were some parts where I just was like, okay, this doesn't like really help me at all, there was a lot of parts where I was just like, okay, this is like amazing, like thank you, I actually needed advice for this. So this one is like, it's not fiction, it's non-fiction, obviously, because it's a guide, and I'm usually a fiction reader, so that's why I'm like not doing a good example of explaining this. Like, literally I can explain a Christian book so well. I'm not gonna do this one because I'm gonna be sitting here talking about it for hours, but for example, this one, it's Amanda's Views. It's a Christian romance. I have a lot of videos where I talk about this book. Like, literally my indie author book recommendation video, I talked about this book, and I was like, I was raving about this book for so long, and like I was so tired of editing, and I was just like, girl, what are you yapping about? Like, there was some pointless stuff that I was talking about, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like that book just gets me so hyped up. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's such a good book. The next one I read was It's Not Summer Without You by Jenny Han. Guys, I just want to make one thing clear. I picked up The Summer I Turned Pretty last year, in like spring of last year. So I'm just now getting back into the series, and I actually just finished We'll Always Have Summer, right, like a few days ago. I was like, okay, well, season 3 is coming out. I've watched season 1 and 2 because the show is better than the books, which is actually really rare, especially considering the plot. Like, I thought, you know, it was gonna be not that good considering the plot. Like, hashtag why was Jeremiah ever an option? I didn't like him from the start. Yeah, I was always Team Conrad. Like I was saying, I finally picked up this book because I was just like, I really want to read the 3rd book before I watch season 3, because I didn't do that for season 2 or season 1. Like, I watched the show before I read the book. So I was just like, okay, well, I want to like finish the series, but in order to get to book 3, I have to read book 2 and see if like, because obviously, like, I know you're like, but you watch season 2, when you watch season 2 you can just get to book 3. No, because you know, sometimes shows be changing stuff. Like, there's literally a scene, I haven't even watched season 3. I went into book 3 already knowing everything about that book, because people on social media don't know how to put spoiler warnings about anything. Literally, they spoiled one of like the major dictators of the show, and it has something to do with Jeremiah. Then they're literally posting like clips of season 3. Like, I get it, you want to post about it, but it doesn't hurt to like do like a disclaimer like, hey, like, spoiler warning for the show and for the books. Literally, I opened up Instagram the day that the day that the first episode came out. Boom, got spoiled. So like, can we please like stop doing that, please? Like, hi, I still haven't watched the show. I literally just finished the book a few days ago. Like, can we stop with spoiling stuff for other people? But like, whatever. This book was 3 stars. There's only one book by Jenny Han that I've rated over 4 stars, and I would like, I rated Will Always Have Summer 4 stars, but that's only because it was the last book in the season, and not season, the trilogy, and I was just happy I could say I finished reading it. It's literally torture to finish, because it's like, I don't like her writing style. It's like, you know how I was just saying like A Girl Named Ivy was too over-explanatory? This gives us nothing at all, and then gives us a platter of nothing, and then serves us a golden platter of nothing, and then it's a love triangle, but the option is obvious. Like, I hate when books do that, and especially when they be trying to hype up the useless lover. Like, for example, Lightlark. Bro, Oro was just there for the plot. He's not a good candidate. People are like, well, he's this and he's that. Are y'all gonna forget this man tried to behead her in like the first book? And this isn't a spoiler. This like happens like at the beginning, like literally like when you first open up the freaking book. We're not gonna forget that this dude like literally tried to kill her, right? Like, that's what he was out for blood for Isla, and like literally all she did was breathe. Like, at this point, y'all just trying to make me mad, right? Because you're trying to make the useless options. You're trying to promote the useless options. Y'all was out here promoting Team Jeremiah. Why? Team Jeremiah sucks. Because like literally, even like when you watch the show, watch the first season, or read like the first book, this is not a spoiler once again, because like this is literally just based off body language. You can literally just tell he only wants Belly because Conrad wants Belly. Take that information as you will. So this book made me mad because the obvious choice is right there, and we still do the things we do. Great. Love that for us. Next one is Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. This is 5 stars. Now, I actually had a video where I think actually from this book all the way to the 7th book that I read, we're all in a reading vlog, and it was the how many pages can I read in a week reading vlog. So if you guys want to go watch that, you can. This book was really short. Like, do you guys see how small this book is? Literally really short. I read this so quickly. It's such a fast-paced read. It was so fluffy and cute. It's a workplace rivals to lovers, because I feel like people are so quick to be like enemies to lovers, enemy to lovers. Y'all are not forming an enemy in your job unless this dude like killed your family and then took your entire paycheck and then like literally said that your work was his own. Then maybe that's your enemy, okay? Maybe that's your enemy. But let's be honest, this dude literally got mad at her. They're not enemies, they're just rivals, or people that just don't like each other, right? So it's from that, and then it's also fake dating. So yeah, I don't really do synopsis in my videos. I've only done that once and I hated it because I'm not good at explaining stuff. So like, here's the synopsis for you, sweetheart. Love you. But it was so cute. It was so fluffy. If you're looking for something that's like really quick, fast-paced, cute, it doesn't really like, you don't really have to like tune in too much to like read it, and it's just fluff, cuteness, fast-paced, an enjoyable read, a little quick 5 star. I have not seen a single bad review except for like one out of like thousands, like tens of thousands of reviews that I've seen in this book. I've only seen like 1 or 2 bad reviews. This book is loved. It is so good. And like, you have to be like, oh well, all these book talk books, this, I didn't even find this from Book Talk. I got this from Barnes & Noble. I saw the cover and it looked cute and I picked it up. I don't even see this book on Book Talk. I'm pretty sure the author herself is like under a publisher, but she's not that popular of an author, so I'm pretty sure this isn't even on like Book Talk timing, you know? So it's not even a Book Talk book, but every single review that I've seen for this has been good. I don't see any bad reviews on this book like ever. So if we have similar taste, I think you would enjoy this one. It was so nice, and I'm also pretty sure it's clean. But same thing with my book. My book is also clean, y'all. Basically, since I know a lot of people get confused, I have to explain this like every single video. Clean is as if you're listening to a clean song. There's no swearing. I don't think there's swearing in this one. Yeah. Next one is Ignite Me, 5 stars. Guys, literally, if you guys remember, if you guys are like OG, I guess it's not that long ago, like the beginning of this year, I was hating on the Shatter Me series so bad. I was like, why do people like this? Like, the book is written like if it was supposed to be written for a child. Juliet's annoying. Juliet's a complainer. Adam sucks, or stuff like that. Like, I literally was like, I don't like anybody here. I don't understand the hype around Aaron. Like, Aaron's a creepo. Like, why do you guys like him? Like, he's not even that good of a character. By Ignite Me, I was like, okay, Adam sucks and we love Aaron. And Juliet's a baddie, and I'm eating this book up. I literally, like, I read like this much, right? I read this much while I was at camp. I have videos from camp. You guys have to like scroll a little bit on my YouTube shorts where I won a competition at camp, but I was at camp when I started this book. And camp was a busy thing. Like, it was from 7 to like 10, 11 p.m. Okay, that's camp. So I didn't have a lot of time to read, because by the time I got back home, we was outside and walking outside in the rain and stuff like that all day. Staying in classrooms all day, because it's not like a normal camp, it's like a business camp, right? So we were in classrooms like all day during camp for like a week straight, and I was tired. So I literally only got like 2 chapters in, right? I got home, I forgot this book existed, like literally just sat in my suitcase. So sorry, right? And then I was like, okay, well, we're gonna pick this book up again for the reading vlog. So I was gonna go walk, and I just needed something like I could do an audiobook for, that I feel like I was snapping through. And guess what? Tahara likes to write short chapters. Thank you, Tahara. So I was like, okay, whatever. I put this one. Literally, I got home. I literally read like to like right here, right? Which is like what? I read to like chapter 62. And my walks are like in 4 in the morning, and I get back around like 7. Don't ask, because I go grocery shopping after, right? So I was tired, so I stopped right here, and I was like, okay, like, I want to keep pushing through, but I know if I keep pushing through, I'm gonna fall asleep, right? Like, it was keeping me up. So I took a little nappy nap, and when I woke up, I finished this book, and I was in shock and amazed, and that's why it's 5 stars. And I literally have a story, but I'm actually buddy reading this book with my best friend, who I'm trying to get into reading, and she loves the series so much, so I think I'm gonna introduce some more books to her when we finish this series and stuff. She literally started restoring me like the second she finished Ignite Me. I've not started it yet, because she actually said something that really scares me. She's like, there's no chapters, it's just like names, and it's like large like portions of the book, and I was just like, oh, that's scary. I don't like that, because like, what do I need to pause? I don't have like a good pause point. I don't have a checkpoint to pause at. Like, I don't have a checkpoint to pause at, so I'm scared like to read it. But like, I just know the book is gonna get better, especially like, because once again, y'all don't be putting spoilers or nothing. I've seen like the stuff that you guys have been saying about Restore Me and stuff like that. Y'all making me laugh, and I actually really want to read it, but I'm just like really scared, like, because like, what about my checkpoints? What happened to my checkpoints? Okay, next book I read, another 5 star. No, actually, August was such a good month. We had so many 5 stars. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 6 5 stars. I think this is the month I've had the most 5 stars. This is like, okay, this is my next 5 star, book number 6, Diamond in the Rough by Jaden Thompson. Once again, another book that I read in the How Many Pages Can I Read in a Week reading vlog. This book was so good. How do I even describe how I felt? Literally read this in like 24 to 48 hours. I can't remember. Guys, I usually read like at nighttime, because that's when I'm like the least busy and stuff, or like I'll read really early in the morning. This was the book I was reading at nighttime, because I was just like, this is kind of like the vibes where it's like you turn on like Gilmore Girls. I don't know, I feel like Gilmore Girls, like if you're going for something cozy, but this was like not cozy. It was like intense, but it wasn't that intense, you know. It was like oh my goodness, I'm so bad at explaining things. This book was like intense, but it wasn't intense, you know. It was kind of just like, it was like kind of intense, just like building you up for the second book, because if you guys didn't know, this is like the first book. I don't know if it's a series or trilogy, I don't know. It's the first book in something, and like you could tell like, okay, this is like the world building book, but it wasn't just like plain world, like it wasn't boring world building where it's like, you know, all the boring stuff where it's just like Akatar, for example, like you're literally just doing nothing the whole entire book. It's just to set the scene. No, there was actual action. It was like world building, but we have something happening in every single new location. Like we were getting enemies location, we were getting new locations, and stuff was happening. We was getting the main location, stuff was happening. So it was like, it was world building, but there was action, you know what I'm saying? And there's like a subplot. Was it a subplot or wasn't it a main plot? I don't know. It was I think it's a subplot of romance between Lakin and Okay, Ethan. Why can Ethan is such a simple name? I can remember Lakin, but I can't remember Ethan. Okay, it's a love. What the romance is between Ethan and Lakin, and they're literally so cute. And also, this book has Christian themes. What am I staring at? I'm staring at a scoop of honey. This book has Christian themes as well, so I was eating this up. Like, I literally was eating this up. It was so good. I cannot wait for the second book. I cannot wait for the second book. I need it like right now. Yay. Next up, 5-star read. This one I ended the reading vlog off with. I think I like got to page 100 and reading vlog before the in the how many pages can I read in a week reading vlog, and then my time was up, so I couldn't finish the book in the reading vlog. But I was also like really distracted because I wasn't home when I finished the reading vlog. Whatever, it doesn't matter, you don't care. Dating and Dragons by Christy Boyce. This is the second in the duology. This book was better than the first book. There was much more tension. It wasn't as it was fluffy, but it was like fluffy but with depth and like undertones, and like there was emotion and there was feeling and there was like longing and there was grief, and not grief as in like death, but like, you know, like that kind of grief when like you lose somebody, like not physically but like mentally, like you lost like a friend, or like you lost, you know, you like lost connection with somebody. It was kind of like that kind of grief, and it had like that kind of grief, and it had friendships, and it had like that kind of worry, and you know, all that kind of stuff that you like want in like a romance where it's like fluffy. We're back. We have candy. Amazing. Like I was saying, it's romance and it has depth and it has emotion and it has everything you need in romance. Like, go read it. It was 5 stars. Next up, I read Destroy Me, which is the first book in the Unite Me. It's 2 novellas in one, so I read Destroy Me. I'll just put it down because who cares. It was 3 stars for me. It was good, but it also felt like I could have gone without it. Like, it didn't add any extra like depth for me. Maybe it's because I read it after I read Ignite Me, but it didn't add anything extra for me. I didn't get any new emotions, get any new feelings for the characters. It's kind of just like boring, and I was just like, okay, well, use this information for me, right? So like, if you're reading the Tsunami series, you can either do it like me and just like read the main books and just get the development on Aaron, because it's Aaron's book, right? So you can just like get the main development on Aaron, because your feelings are going to be the same either way by the end of the book, by the end of the series. Actually, you don't need to read Destroy Me, but like if you want to and kind of like connect with Aaron, like because it's in his point of view, so if you want to connect with Aaron, then sure, but it's not like required at all. It doesn't change anything in the story for you, trust. In the last book, I ended the month off with a 5-star read. Literally on the last day of August, I read this book at like nighttime. Stars in the Sky by Jen Thompson. This is the novella. It's basically the last 20%, 10%, whatever. Last 10% of Diamond in the Rough, but it's told in like his point of view. Because what I really like about Diamond in the Rough is that it's told only in the male main character's point of view. So we don't get to see Lakin's emotions unless it's displayed or unless she tells Ethan. So this, we got to see Lakin's point of view of what happened in the last few chapters. We also got to see her emotions at the end. So I thought it was really cool, and it was 5 stars. And the reason I said it was 5 stars, right, instead of just like a normal 4-star, it's a novella. It's under 100 pages, and the depth, the emotion, the detail, the attention to said detail was on point. And it's really hard to do that when you have a novella and it's under 100 pages, like, because there's novellas where it's like there are 100 pages or like 200 pages, right? But this was like 80 pages, I think. Do you guys understand how much work you have to put in, how much rereads and proofreads you have to do? Or maybe she probably didn't even do that many, but you understand how much like detail and like writing skill and ability you have to make me connect with the character in just 70 pages. And this is the first time we're getting this character's point of view of anything, and we're used to being in the other character's point of view. Like, that takes some talent. So those 5 stars. But yes, these hello are the 9 books that I read. Oh, this is not a really colorful stack now, is it? It's like really, oh, that's because the one book that actually has like a different color. These are literally such good books. But this is the final stack. And thank you all so much for watching. Bye out, kisses. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to my YouTube channel and like the post, like this video, do the things, share the video, comment down below. Actually, if you made it this far, comment down below this emoji and I'll see who made it to the end. And also, I just added this new feature, not feature, but like I just added this new thing in my bio where you guys can go to my Amazon wish list. Like if you guys just feel like being generous and want to buy me a book or buy me some book accessories or stuff for my bookshelf, you guys can do that. First of all, buying me a new book helps me with content because first of all, books are my job, books are the content. So like really they help with like book hauls because I have a book haul coming up. So like if you guys want to buy me a book and have it featured in the book haul with like your little note and whatever, you can do that. But like your video, like your support literally just supplies my book hauls and you get shout outs. And yeah, it's like it's something new because I see like YouTubers do it all the time and like it's like so fun. And I was just like, what if I did that for my channel? Like I get to unbox like stuff and like see you guys little notes and stuff. So I don't know if anybody's gonna actually use it. If you don't, it's literally okay. Like I don't care because I know books, they get expensive. I don't care if you do, I don't care if you don't, like literally. So it's just something like if you like want to be featured in like a book haul and I unbox your book and I read your notes and that's there. And like also with a feature you can do, you can add to cart a book that I had in my wish list and then like also add a book of your own that you think I would like. I'm gonna say, first of all, don't get me no freaky covers. First of all, I be seeing them covers. Second of all, I don't like dark romance. I don't do dark romance. And if you want to like know what genre I'm really into, guys, I'm into like YA romance or like really anything Lauren Roberts. And yeah, that's really it. I know like it's probably like so random, but like, girl, why are you putting up your Amazon wish list? It's literally wish list. I don't gain profit from anything. It's literally just like, it literally, you buy me a book and I receive the book as like a gift or whatever. So if you want to do that, then I'd be really appreciative. Like I love you all so much, but like you don't have to. I'm like, if you don't, I'm not gonna mind. Like I'm not. It's just like your support, your subscribed, your likes, your comments, like that kind of stuff. That kind of shows like, because especially the comments, because the comments let me know like what you guys want to see. Because like I'll see like people be like, oh, I really like this video, and lets me know like, okay, like this is the stuff you guys want to see in the future. So just let me know in the comments like your opinions on the videos I make, whether it's wrap-ups, TBRs, whether it's videos you want to see me do, stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. My dad kisses. Maddie out and goodbye. Y'all, I don't care that this video was supposed to be out near the beginning of the month and we're in the second week of the of October and we're finally getting this video, but who cares? We are doing the September reading wrap up because it's October now and I've already done the TBR, so go watch the TBR. Yes, I've been posting literally everything besides this video, so just be like glad that it's finally out because I'm gonna be so honest, I really wasn't going to do it, but I was just like, okay. So we only read a total of 6 books. Well, technically 5, but I counted it as 6, I don't know why, books in the month of September. So it wasn't an eventful month, but we read, and that's all that matters. Am I right? Like, that's literally all that matters. So we're going to go through every book that I read, and we're going to try and get this as short and sweet as possible because your girl is tired. I want to go to bed, okay? It's literally 9 o'clock and I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep, okay? So the second I'm finished filming this video, I'm going to sleep because I need my sleep. Duh. But before we get into that, I want to go ahead and promote my book real quick because I am an author. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. But I wrote The Ruined Royals. This is a clean YA fantasy trilogy. It's going to be a trilogy, but you know, we're only the first book. I literally just published this like this year. And you guys can also sign up for ARCs right now on my Instagram. Like, go sign up for ARCs. It's so simple, so easy. Go sign up for the ARCs right now. You guys can be an ARC reader, but you have to read this one first. Well, you don't have to, but it's recommended because it kind of spoils this one for you. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I would say read the first book first and then read Broken Past, but sign up for the e-arcs because we're looking for arc readers. You can get early access to Broken Past and read it and review it before the book comes out, so link in the description. But to put it short and sweet, this is a book about two girls who in the beginning think they are sisters, who find out they are related to the royal family. One is dirt broke and talks to animals, and the other one can conjure fire out of thin air. And she doesn't like people, and she's pretty well off. Like, she doesn't have any struggles too much. So they both find out they're part of the royal family, and upon arriving at this beautiful, wonderful, kind of like dark, spooky kind of castle, they get this off vibe. And that same night, they discover that the guards and the staff and the chefs are out for blood. Like, they want them dead. It's no game. They're out, like, bro, they want them dead. They want them killed, okay? Because they don't like this family. So Valentina and Amira have to team up, put all that extra crap aside, and basically save the day. Because, girl, they don't want to die, okay? So it's literally a story about betrayal, and literally they have to uncover someone's secret. So it is a fantasy mystery kind of thing that we have going on. So I hope you guys choose to read it. But yes, I put my heart and my soul into this book, so I really do hope that you guys like it because I worked really hard on this. Like, no joke. But I think it's pretty good. I think I did really good on this book, okay? I'm so excited. Okay, so let's get into the actual wrap up, like right now, okay? So the first book that I read, which I count these as two, is Fracture Me, which technically means that I finished Unite Me by Tara Mafi. I love the Shatter Me series. It's so good. I love it. So this one, I feel like the novellas are really unnecessary. These two, at least, are really unnecessary. I don't think like these are really important. You have to like read these. Nothing important, nothing major, nothing crazy. Cool. Then I told you I'm pre-writing this. Like, this is not gonna be a long video, I promise. Then we have We'll Always Have Summer. it really wasn't that good. I'm just glad this trilogy is over. I'm just so glad this trilogy is over because I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't that cool. We're like literally speedrunning. Oh, and both these are rated 3 stars. So Unite Me and Fracture Me 3 stars, and then this is like 3-4 stars. Cause I only rated it as high as I did because I was just glad that the series was over. Then Breaking Point by Mad Rafferty. This was so good. I cried like literal tears, bawling, hyperventilating. This book was amazing, astonishing. Please go read it like right now. It's so good. Okay, 5 stars. This is by Mad Rafferty. Please go read it like immediately. Then I read Heir of Broken Kingdom. I think this one was like 4 stars by Mad Rafferty as well. I did a reading vlog on this, so go watch it if you have read this because it has spoilers. All my reading vlogs have spoilers except for my challenges, like 24 hours, stuff like that. Those are spoiler free, but my specific reading vlogs have spoilers, so beware. Yeah, this was 4 stars. I think I already mentioned that though. Then the last book that I read in the month of September was Fearful by Lauren Roberts. This was 5 stars. I, as you guys can tell, love the Powerless trilogy, series, whatever. This was 5 stars. Now, I started this book and I was just like, third person and first person, really like, this is gonna suck. I was genuinely gonna think like, okay, this is gonna be the first book by Lauren Roberts I absolutely hate because it was so slow to me. But then when I started getting into the story and I started understanding, I was just like, this is such a good book, right? So if you're on the fence about reading this one because of things you've heard, please just go read it. It's so good. It was 5 stars for me. And that's it. Yeah, that's it for today's video. I told you guys it was not going to be too long, not going to be too crazy. We're just chilling. We're just saying what I read this month. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. And don't forget to get an FMS video. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and on TikTok because, yeah. And also purchased, like, I also have an Amazon wishlist in the description. So if you guys want to buy me a book to put in one of my book hauls because I do them so often, then that's in the description as well. And I love you all so much. But Jesus loves you more. Mighty out kisses. Mwah, mighty out and goodbye. Hello loves, welcome back to yet another video. Today we're going to be talking about my October reading wrap up. We only read 4 books in the month of October because, I don't know, I'm just not in the reading, mood lately. I don't know what is going on. I just need that to like be fixed immediately though because I want to get in some of these amazing stories that I have coming up for the November TBR, which you guys should go watch that video. But We have 4 books here today, and I'm going to be talking about all 4 of the ones that I read this month. And I would say it was pretty decent. It was a pretty decent month. I really wish we had much more like reads, first of all, but reads that were above 4-star, because we had yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this beforehand because I usually do this mid video, but I don't feel like doing that mid video. Also, my voice sounds weird. I'm sorry, my throat just like hurts, so don't know what's going on there, but yeah. So I think you guys should go ahead and check out my book. First of all, this is The Ruined Royals. I wrote this. It is a YA clean mystery fantasy novel, and I spent about 3 years on this book, and now that it's finally out, I'm just so stoked. I'm so happy. And if you guys want to know more about it, because I don't have enough time to go in the synopsis today, I'm on a pretty tight schedule today, then you guys can check out my TikTok and Instagram, which you guys should like go do. And yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and get into the wrap up. This video shouldn't be too long because, like I said, it's only 4 books. So let's just go ahead and get into the first book, Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This was our book club book pick of the month for November, and this chunky book, how many pages is this? Like 500 pages. This chunky book was really not worth my time. It genuinely felt like I was just reading a copy of Fourth Wing, but then add in some stuff like vampires and fairies, because that's really how the relationships were. And I really hated how Kingfisher, first of all, why is his name even Kingfisher in the first place? Like, I really hated how Kingfisher treated, what was her name? See, it's like Cyrus. I don't know. I don't like how he treated her. He treated her like she was a freaking dog sometimes, because he'd be so rude to her one second, and the next second he's just like, oh, but you're like so pretty and stuff. Like, no, get your hands away from me. Didn't you just tell me to go jump off a cliff? Anyways, this was 3 stars for me. It was really, I feel like this was not worth my time. Felt like we were running in circles a lot, and there was a lot of pointless parts in the plot. But you know, it's the book club book at the pick of the month, so I had to pick it up. So yeah, 3 stars for Quicksilver. The next book that I read, and I do believe this one is 5 stars, was Shades of Red by Jane Thompson. I actually have a reading vlog out on this book, so go check that video out because it was so much fun to film. I had a great time reading this book. This is about, oh my goodness, Jordan and Stella. Okay, this is about Jordan and Stella, and these two are like rivals. Like, this is genuinely enemies to lover. Like, anytime they see each other, they just want to kill each other. They don't like each other. It's genuinely enemies to lovers. It's not just one of those enemies to lovers that's like workplace and they're just rivals. No, this is genuine enemies to lovers. Like, oh my goodness, they hate each other. They want to kill each other every single second they see each other, right? So Jordan is on the Raven side, and then Stella is on the Roses side. And soon enough, this guy named Silas comes in, and he offers, like, he proposes both sides a deal. Like, I don't even, like, he was like, I'm gonna pick a side and we're going to just kill the rest of the other side. So obviously everybody's just like, yeah. But Jordan and Stella off the bat are like, I don't think this is like the best choice. This sounds extremely suspicious. But nobody wants to listen to them, so these two end up teaming up against their likingness, whatever. They end up teaming up so that way they can stop what is happening, because they don't want what Silas has to offer. This was 5 stars, by the way. This was such a good book. Then I read Restore Me by Tahira Mafi. I cannot explain this one because this is what, book 4? Yeah, this is book 4 in the Shatter Me series, and there's still some more books that are in the series, but this is book 4, so I cannot tell you guys what this is about because it will spoil like the first 3 books for you. But this was 4 stars. I did enjoy myself. I loved meeting some of the new characters. I especially loved meeting Nazira. So if you guys have heard of Nazira and you're in the 1st or 2nd book, just know she's introduced in the 4th book. So Nazira, if you are wondering who this Nazira person is, because people talk about her all the time in the Shatter Me fandom, she comes in at book 4. it is really just worth it. Now, did I like the first Shatter Me book? No, but as the books progressed and as the books went on, I ended up loving them even more every single time that I read one of the novels. And I genuinely think that Tahereh Mafi has such a knack and a talent for writing, and I like when the writing for some books are like simple but complex, and I don't know how to explain that so like properly, but Tahereh Mafi's writing is like, the writing style seems simple but the story is so complex, and it's like when you mix both of those together and you let them combine, it just creates like the perfect story, the perfect type of writing. And it's so easy to get through. It's so fast paced, the chapters are short, so it feels like you're accomplishing stuff faster. I don't know how that's just the logic, but that's just my logic. When I finish a chapter quick, it feels like I'm accomplishing the book faster, right? So yes, I definitely do think that if you are iffy about the first book, and the second book is where it gets better. People say it's the third book. I don't usually wait till third books for books to get better. It got better in the second book because I feel like the first book was kind of just like, but the second book was where we started making progression and it got better. And then the third book was like, I think the best out of all of them. And then this one was just like sort of similar to the second book, where it was just like, it was good. It was not as great as Ignite Me, but Restore Me is a pretty good book as well. So yes, Restore Me was the fourth book that I read in the month of October. Oh my goodness, we're in November, aren't we? October, and this was a 4-star. The last book that we read, or I think this was actually the first book that I read this like last month, but I don't remember. It was Off Script by Gabby Smuts. I rate this book 3 stars. This is a romance about like acting but social media. I rated it 3 stars because I genuinely did feel like there were a lot of typos, and some of the grammar was like incorrect, and there wasn't enough like progression in the plot. It didn't make a lot of sense to me at some points, and I was just like, oh, okay, it feels like we were just skipping stuff, or we were trying to make something much more serious than it would be. And yeah, I did love the romance between the two characters, and I did like how it was a short, quick, easy read. It was something fun that I could get through within like a week, I believe, and because my schedule's been so busy, so I'm not reading anything in like a day anymore. But we got through this in like a week, and it was quick, it was fun, it was easy. I would just have some recommendations for Gabby herself, just like to have someone else just go over it, because it was kind of like confusing at times where I had to reread the same sentence over and over again because either the grammar just didn't do it or it was misspelled or something like that, and I just didn't understand what was happening. But yeah, anyways, these are the 4 books that we read in the month of October. Oh my goodness. And if you guys choose to read any of these books, or if you have read any of these books, tell me in the comments down below what you thought of them, or which one you want to read the most. And also in the comments down below, tell me what your favorite book that you read in the month of October was. Yeah, and I want to hear about it in the comments. So thank you so much for watching. Maddie out, kisses, Maddie out, and goodbye. Hello loves, and welcome back to Madimas. I actually already filmed this video, but my mic was not turned on, and it wouldn't be a problem if this was not a plug-in. So if it's plugged in, then that means you cannot hear anything. Yeah, so we're refilming this video. Well, today we're going to be looking at the 7 books that I read in the month of November. I would say I'm actually really proud of myself because I've been reading a lot less recently because it feels more like a chore than a hobby. And so I'm really just rarely reading now, but I feel like December I want to get back into the actual reading, like reading stuff that I actually want to read, not just sticking to a TBR or sticking to what's popular and feeling pressured into reading stories that I don't want to read, right? So that's why December is not going to have a TBR video. It's literally just because I just want to mood read, and there is going to be a mood reading vlog as well, so you guys can read with me, and it's going to be non-spoiler. Guys, I rarely do non-spoiler videos, so take what you can take, okay? Try and do a lot less non-spoiler videos for Madimas, okay? But we have 7 books that we have today. I want to start this video off by saying that I am an author. These books you see right here, mine, I wrote them. And you guys can check out my Instagram and TikTok. Those are both linked in the description down below. Follow me on those platforms because all the short form content you guys see up here on YouTube goes straight to Instagram and TikTok first. So if you guys want to be in the loop before YouTube is even in the loop, then I would just go say follow the TikTok, follow the Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and hit the notification bell if you ever miss a video. And let's go ahead and just get started. So I wanted to start off by saying that for these books I have physical physical copies of, and 3 of these books I read on my Kindle or Kindle app, because I literally just got my Kindle, so only 2 of these books have actually been read on the Kindle, but all 3 of these are read on my, on a device, right? So the first book I read in the month of November was Always the Boyfriend by Alison Specka. This was actually an ARC book, and I got this book for it was an art book, and I rated this book 3 stars. It wasn't bad per se. I would definitely recommend reading it. My only issue with the book is that it was focused much more on the romance, right? And I know Alison Specka writes romances, but the whole reason the romance started was because of the mystery that was happening, and we were not focused on said mystery, and it was just kind of upsetting to me, because I was just like, okay, well, where's the mystery? If anything, the mystery seemed like a subplot, for it to be such an important thing that this girl was having mental breakdowns, and then it just instantly becomes a subplot once our male main character is introduced. And I was just like, okay, well, maybe it's not all that serious then. Basically, what this book is about, it is about a girl whose grandmother just passed away, so she inherits her grandmother's apartment and her grandmother's cat, and she just wins the lottery after losing her grandmother, and her cat gets stolen, and now it's up for ransom, right? And it's all the lottery money, and this girl needs the lottery money. Like, this girl is broke, she has no money, like, she needs the lottery money ASAP, right? So she's having a mental breakdown in the hair salon every single day, and one of her co-workers is like, I have a brother who solves cold cases, and he can help you with this case. And so our FMC and our MMC team up, and I'm sorry, like, I'm so tired, I don't remember many people's names right now, so please forgive me, but FMC and our MMC, they team up, and literally the mystery disappears the second they meet. Like, we do a few investigations, but then it's like no mystery. Like, the mystery just completely disappears. When you find out who it is, it's just like made, first of all, no sense, but also felt like it was just a rushed solution to end the problem and the conflict of the story. So that is why I rated it 3 stars, because I just felt like it was not giving the usual Alison Specka that Alison Specka usually gives, right? Beautiful. So the second book that I read was The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I rated this book 2 stars. This book was horrible. I actually hated all 3 of the books, and I was just like, okay, this is the last one in the actual, like, main trilogy before you get into, like, the actual, like, if you read further, you get into the actual series. And I don't understand why this trilogy series, whatever, is so hyped. First 2 books, I absolutely positively hated them. They are not good. The series really is just not worth your time, because Avery inherits millions upon millions, or even billions of dollars. This girl owns a mansion, she owns islands, she owns NFL teams, and she's letting these people, these broke people who live in her house, who she could kick out in any given moment, boss her around and act like she doesn't know what she's doing. So that was the reason I didn't like the first 2 books, because why are we taking orders from peasants? Like, not even in a mean way, but it's like, quite literally, you're living in my house, using my money, under my roof, using my things, taking advantage of me, and then you're telling me what I can and cannot do in my own house. Who are you? That's literally why I hated the first 2 books, right? So then I get to The Final Gambit, and I'm like, okay, I read the first 100 pages. It's actually going so good. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so good. Where was this in the first 2 books? Then the rest of this book hits, a surprise character comes in, ruins the whole thing, okay? And I hate love triangles as it is, but this just pissed me off. Usually I hate love triangles because it's so obvious who the winner should be, and that's usually never who ends up getting the girl, right? So, with that being said, but the Samurai Turn Pretty, hate that series. I'm team Conrad needs to get out of there, because Conrad is peak and Jeremiah is trash, right? So I'm obviously team Conrad, but I did not like the story. I did not like the love triangle because it was so stupid to me. That's why I don't like love triangles. Then, so I'm like, okay, at least with the Samurai Turn Pretty, I know I'm team Conrad. At least with the Lightlark saga, because she decided to extend it like 27 books. At least with the Lightlark saga, I know I'm team Grimm, because Oro sucks and he's boring, and he's Oro, okay? At least with those 2 love triangles, I know who I'm rooting for in the love triangles. I get, like, the first 2 books, they were showing signs, but I was just like, okay, we're gonna brush it off, right? this book really solidified the fact that I don't like either of the male main characters. Like I said, a surprise character shows up and she starts running the place. She literally does. And Avery's trying to warn them about things, about this, about that, the third. Tell them like, oh, this person's coming, and oh, this is about to happen. Like, oh, we're in danger. She could put a turkey cheese sandwich in front of their face and like, this is turkey cheese, and this is a turkey cheese sandwich, and I'm like, no, this is pizza. It don't make sense, does it? Exactly. So quite literally, she would say stuff that was like factual in their faces, like it was obvious information, and they would brush it off and be like, you're such a liar, Avery. I don't understand why you hate this mystery character. And most of the stuff she was saying wasn't even directed towards this mystery character. Like, she obviously had her suspicions because she was suspicious of everybody. But there was stuff where it was playing out plans where she was like, I think we should do this. And they started like verbally jumping this girl. Like, oh my goodness, like, you're so stupid. What are you talking about? Like, you know what you're talking about. Like, you don't know how to solve mysteries. They acted like she was dumb and then acted so surprised when she was right. Every single freaking time. So that just made me really mad because where's your common sense? I can't root for characters who I don't like. Yeah. The Final Gambit. It wasn't good. It was 2 stars, okay? The next book I read is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens last December because that was our book club pick. That book made me swear off of classics for good because I couldn't understand a single word I didn't understand what was happening. Actually, I didn't understand a single word he was saying. I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't even understand the plot. Okay, I was just like, are all classics like this? Okay, I'm just like, okay, I'm thinking all classics are like this. Setting the tone, first freaking classic, and it's just not good. Okay, I did not like that book. I was just so confused. So I get Little Women, and I'm like, okay, this is about to be a literal carbon copy of A Christmas Carol writing wise. Louisa writes as if she was alive in the 2020s, right? Like, not as in like the culture, because 2020 was its own culture. And I think that we genuinely need to acknowledge the fact that it was its own thing, right? So I'm reading and I'm understanding every single word. Like, I'm enthralled. I can understand. I know what's happening. I understand the characters. I know where we are and when we are at. I know everything. I'm engaged, right? Because I can actually understand what's happening. So if you want to get into classics, I definitely say Little Women is the one to get in for you. This book was a 4-star for me. It was really good. It's really worth the read. It was actually so much fun. The next book that I read is Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. I put this book off for so long because I was just, after reading every book that Johnny even makes a cameo in, I was terrified to read her story because while Joey and Shannon are siblings, right, and Shannon had it bad, I already knew that based on the things we saw from Joey and other people's books, not to say he had it worse because they went through like similar things, but he had it bad on top of like his problems and his addictions and everything like that. So with this series, with Boys to Tom in general, please read your trigger warnings. Like, these books, Chloe Walsh does not care about triggering you, okay, chat? She does not care. I mean, she does because she leaves the trigger warnings and she's like, please, like, I love you, like, literally. But I'm just saying, like, she will put anything and like everything in these books. But what makes it even scarier is that, like, specifically with Redeeming Six, not Redeeming Six. What is that book called? Redeeming 10. She experienced everything Lizzie went through. That scared me the most, right? Because I'm just like, oh, right? I don't understand why people hate Aoife so much. Aoife is my girl. I just think people just hate the FMCs. Every FMC besides Shannon, just like because she exists. Besides Shannon and Katie. And even I got a little shade to throw at Katie. I don't hate Katie. Got a little shade to throw at her though, because she be thinking she's slick. But she's mad disrespectful to Lizzie. She is. Like, before her and Lizzie even met, she was mad. Just like, who just goes up to somebody talking about something? Are you hot? Like, genuinely get out the bathroom. What are you doing? Yeah, but 5 stars. Saving Six was 5 stars. It was like so heartbreaking, but it was also so lovely, and I was like giggling, kicking my feet when it was happy times. The next book that I read is Hot for Slayer by Ellie Hazelwood. This was like one of her seasonal novellas, so this one came out for Halloween because she was doing like the Amazon novella collabs or whatever, right? And this was about a vampire and a vampire slayer, and the vampire slayer has been hunting her for millenniums and years, hundreds and thousands upon years, right? Like since the 1400s. Mind you, this takes place in the 2025s, so they're immortal. First of all, just turn it off. But one day, like they're like battling because she's not trying to die. He's trying to get her, and he gets knocked out. I forgot how, but he gets knocked out, and he lists all his memories of her and his past job, all of the sorts. So yeah, it was 3 stars. It wasn't anything special, but it was definitely something cute and fun to read. Like I genuinely like do miss Etha a little bit. Like Etha was low key kind of my girl for real. Kind of do miss her for real. Next one I read was Engaged in Espionage by Janessa Fagan. It was a novella to her book, Date with Danger. It's like, it was just something cute and it was something fun to read. So if you've read Date with Danger, I would say you could read this one. It was just something about Amelia in this book that really pissed me off like the whole time. I rated it 3 stars, but it was just something about her that pissed me off this whole book. I was just like, girl, please sit down somewhere, please. And the last book we read is Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer. This was our book club book pick of the month for November. I rated this 3 stars, and everybody always hypes up this book. They're like, oh my goodness, the frog companion, so funny, so cutesy, the plot, the storyline, the romance. Girl, the romance don't even come until like the last 10 pages. It's kind of like Cruel Prince in a way, but it's also not, because it's like it builds gradually and understandably throughout the story, you know? So it's not like Cruel Prince as in like the dynamic or the trope, but it's more like Cruel Prince in the slow burn aspect, right? So we don't really get too much romance until like the last few pages of the first book, and it was like good. I usually don't like slow burns, but I surprisingly enjoyed this one. That's not what took the rating down. What really took the rating down for me was how dragged on it felt and overhyped I feel like this book was. And I don't just rate books lower just because I feel like they're overhyped. Like Onyx Storm felt like it was overhyped, but I still rated it pretty good. Like I think I rated like 4 or 5 stars. I just feel like it was really overhyped, but it was not a bad book, right? So I don't rate books lower just because I find that they're overhyped, but the reasons why I think they're overhyped may cause it to stumble down in the stars, right? So Assistant to the Villain was so dragged on to the point where when we got to page I gotta see how many pages are in this book, because like we got to page 200 and I was just like, girl, wrap it up, it's time to go. Okay, it's time to go home. So there was a lot of scenes, first of all, we could have cut out and I would not have been confused at all. Like, stuff would have made a lot more sense if things were actually cut out. I was confused. I was lost when things were added in, right? There were scenes where the villain would just crash out on Evangeline for he crashed over to her over a piece of paper. And then another dude was like, oh, that's my piece of paper. And he like literally didn't crash out on him. Just say you hate me without saying you hate me. Right? So yeah, I liked the way she was hired. I liked the way that the book ran, but there were just some things I feel like we could have cut down. Things could have made sense. Like there was like I said, when I got to page 200, I was just ready for it to be over. I was like, wrap it up. It's dragging on too long. Do I think I will continue the series? Yes, I genuinely do, because I do want to know what happens next. But I don't think it's all that. And if you're like choosing between this book and another popular book talk book, I would say try the other popular book talk book before coming to Assistant to the Villain. But what do I know? You might like Assistant to the Villain a lot more than I did. But that is it for today's video. Love y'all so much. Kisses. Maddie out, and goodbye.